Pollyanna-ish, but ridiculous. And he did it in such a way that you go, oh, my goodness. And nobody from the Jets pulled him away.
I don't know if they did or didn't. I mean, they didn't pull him away in the moment. Now, whether he was disciplined or not, I don't know if that's something that would ever make any news.
The Nets were disciplined. $100,000 for the stunt they pulled against the Milwaukee Bucks. And you know what? That's good. They deserve it. They really screwed up. But I don't think that you really affect rich people by finding them money. That's why David Tepper, it doesn't bother him. That's ashtray money for David Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers. This is ashtray money for Joe Tsai. Take away draft picks. You can't do that. This is a product that you're selling to fans. They paid good money to get into the building. I'm waiting at some point for the fans to get together and have a class action lawsuit. You can't charge that kind of money to get into a ballpark or an arena and then not play your best players. Hey, if they're injured, they're injured, but not for rest. You don't sit down with Mikal Bridges for the second, third, and fourth quarters because you just wanted to rest them. The only reason you played him the first quarter was to keep his streak alive. The Nets deserve to be fined, and they should be fined more. And they have a draft pick taken away.
Should. And I got to say this, too, not because of this particular incident, but the Nets have lost 8 of 10. And their 2 wins were against Detroit. So I would suspect and not be surprised within the next few days that they have a new head coach. I think Vaughn's going to get let go.
Now let's shift to the Rangers. They've been playing great, but Don, they had a real stinker the other night. What happened? 6-1 they lose.
It's more about Carolina. They found themselves. So I think Carolina is going to be a legit threat to the Rangers, probably the only legit threat in that division to win it, because they're finally getting healthy now, and it showed. And that's a team that when they get a lead, they're very difficult to play against. So I'm not excusing the performance. You lose 6-1, but it was 3-1 going into the third, and it kind of got away from them. Rangers are 9-1 after losses this year. I expected to go 10-1 because tonight they're playing Chicago. It's one of the worst, if not the worst, teams of the NHL. But they've had a couple of these games. They got beat up by Nashville. They got beat up by Buffalo at home. When they lose, they tend to lose big, but they don't lose that often. Only 11 losses, only 10 in regulation. But that was a big bit of a stinker. But I think the Garden's going to be jumping. Original 16, Connor Bedard coming to the Garden for the first time. Brennan Othman has been called up.
Why they call him up?
He's going to make his NHL debut because Tyler Pitlick's hurt.
Okay.
Now, why Othman in particular? Because he hasn't scored a goal in Hartford in like the last 9 games. But overall, he's got 23 points in 28 games down in the A. So they're giving him his opportunity. So I think it's a good team to play against. Again, it's a bad Chicago team. So we'll see if this is going to be temporary or whether he's got a chance to stick. But he was drafted 16th overall in 2021. So he's finally gotten a chance to play in the AHL this year. And I guess they feel he deserves to get the opportunity with Pitlick out. We'll see how long he stays. They got a game tonight. They got a game Saturday in Montreal, Monday against Vancouver. Pitlick's week to week or day to day, so we'll see. So week to week, so it's going to be a bit with Kakko and Hedl not really close. I mean, he's got a chance here, I think, over the foreseeable future to maybe make a name for himself here and get things going. I know a lot of people are excited to see him.
You know, I read Larry Brooks over the weekend, and he almost intimated that Hedl could be done. That there have been past guys that have had concussions like this, and that it lasts this long, that they go home to rehab, and then they don't come back. Do you think it could be that serious?
Well, yeah, I mean, if it does have this feeling that if it's a concussion and it takes this long to get back, we've seen it. You know, Michael Sauer was a defenseman with the Rangers. His career was over. We saw Brett Lindros, Eric Lindros' brother, career shortened. And then we've seen guys suffer a ton of concussions and bounce back and have great careers. So it's been a long time. He hasn't played, was it November 2nd? I mean, so it's been a while, and he's going back home to rehab. So it definitely has that feel, Michael, that will we see him this year? And then with concussions and the way they are, I couldn't rule out the possibility that this could be career affecting. I hope it's not. But it has all the signs that it's something that is going to take a long time for him to be able to recover from. And can he be the same player?
We'll talk about the other Garden tenant, the Knicks, with a big win yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Big win over the Bulls, and they're in a stretch now, the Knicks, where they can pile some wins up because they're playing teams under 500. We'll break that down for the people all here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
I saw some of my favorite reporters were at The Athletic, and I thought, wow, I need to check this out. the content was just totally amazing. And so I kept renewing, and, now I'm a huge fan of The Athletic and can't imagine my sports life without it. What I enjoy the most about The Athletic is the emotion behind a lot of the stories. If you like sports at any level, they have something for you.
So, you need a suit. A tux even? Maybe you got invited to a fancy party, or you're someone's plus one, and the last time you resorted to a warehouse, you didn't like the way you looked. This time, get a better suit from the Black Tux, and we'll deliver it with time to spare. Try it on. If the fit isn't right, we'll replace it right away, for free. And on the big day, you'll look as great as you feel. With the Black Tux, it's easy to look your best for every occasion. TheBlackTux.com. Formal wear for the moment.
See everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
I needed something in the shop, comfortable.
I wear Brunt boots, as you see, got them on my feet right now. Keeps you warm, it keeps you dry, triple layered comfort.
Comfortable in the morning, comfortable in the afternoon. These feel like kind of like sneakers.
They're waterproof, durable. Been wearing them for over a year now. They're absolutely amazing.
This is the only shoe I wear in here now.
Brown boots are cool.
Wearing Brunt boots, my feet, my back, and my legs don't hurt at the end of the day.
Go online to try any of our gear on the job for 30 days, risk-free.
Guys, let's be honest. Buying pants sucks. It should not be this difficult. I'm looking for that one pair of pants that does everything. These just came in. They're the only pant from Fabletics Men. 4-way stretch, done. All-way stretch, you're gonna feel the difference. The best thing about the Only Pant, honestly, everything. You almost forget about the deal that you're getting. Same premium quality as Lululemon, but at a third of the price.
Win big while streaming the Nets with Pick and Play on the Yes app. Make your picks before tip-off and win up to $10,000. What a move! Yes, Pick and Play. It's the game within the game, only on the Yes app.
Ever give out your Medicare number. Just hang up.
I check my Medicare statements monthly.
To report Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
It's easy to stay safe online. Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
We all smoked in those days. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now.
Just hearing that again, Don, I'd have to fight back on one thing. Restaurants don't like to cook overcooked meal. Like when somebody orders a steak well done, they give you a look. They probably spit on it, but they don't care if it's raw. They think that's the way it should be.
No. I'm telling you, we've gone to restaurants that will not serve a steak rare.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Because they're afraid of, I guess,
trichinosis.
Yes, so they won't do it. Not a lot of places, not high-end places. I'm trying to think of one of them.
So the Ponderosa is turning you down.
No, we went to, there was a Planet Hollywood.
Okay. All right, talk to me.
Where were we? It was either Florida or Montreal, one of the two. I think it was Montreal. Maybe it's a Canadian thing. Wouldn't do it. Would not serve rare.
Well, do you like rare?
No.
I don't.
I'm a medium.
I like medium.
Used to be well done.
Oh, you're
Nancy finally convinced me to go medium well, so I'm a medium well guy.
So is it you being a medium well guy and Nancy being rare?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's almost a huge. I mean, it's a really big difference.
You know how difficult it is to barbecue. Like we get steaks or burgers, it's like a whole thing.
Wait, she wants burgers rare too?
Yeah.
But Don, you realize that when you go to a restaurant, you say, well done, they're laughing at you in the kitchen, and they're probably spitting on your food.
By the way, you of all people, who cares?
I care if they spit on my food.
Well, why would
a real big-time chef will not do it. They will not do it. If you go to a high-end restaurant and you say, well done.
He's not wrong.
I'm going to say something real quick. How many meals in Hawthorne do you think Don is going to that are Michelin star? I think he's safe ordering well done. Don, that's all due respect.
I don't see this respect.
I don't either, Don. I don't sense the respect.
Well, hold on.
I eat well,
but I don't go to restaurants that are so nice that the chef would be offended. As I've gotten older, I want it more and more well done. And I just can't believe Michael, a man who has the worst taste in food of anyone we know, you're worried about whether the chef judges you because you want it cooked well?
No, I don't care about being judged. I'm judged all the time. Negatively, people don't like me.
Spit
I don't like phlegm in my food.
That they get offended. I don't know if they're going to spit because they won't serve a well done steak, but they'll serve a steak that spits.
By the way, my guess is I just like to say I would love to hear from a real chef today, a pretty high end
chef. Boy RD, somebody like that.
Sure. RD would be fine. He's a good one.
It's not RD. It's Boy RD.
I know, but
that was the nickname because he's Chef Boy, and it was RD. There were other ones. There was Chef Boy RL, Chef Boy.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
I would love to hear from a real chef though, who could confirm whether the quote being offended thing is real, or if you're at a certain level, you no longer care about things like that. And they're like, if a dude says he wants a thing that way, I give him the thing the way he wants it.
And also, I've gone to medium well, which I think is acceptable. No?
As I've gotten older, I want it more and more well. I had a period of wanting it like bloody, and then I can't do it. And I can't believe the amount of meat that Natalie and I consumed at these Brazilian barbecue places last week. I'm sick with myself.
You look great, though.
I'm just, Michael, the stuff that's going on out here, it's not
What do you mean, what's going on?
Do you know the amount of, things that are getting into every bit of meat that we're eating?
Oh, stop it.
Really? Do you know that what's happened? The amount of animals they're slaughtering, how fast they're doing it? There's no quality control, guys. This whole country's out of whack, and then the price gouging happening. Do you guys hear right now? If you go and try to if you were crazy enough to want to get a Big Mac, the Big Mac value meal, Don, in Times Square, and I know it's Times Square, I get it, it's the highest end you could get in terms of price. If it starts at $13, Don, if you go extra large Big Mac value meal in Times Square, you're up to $18. Where are we as a nation?
But I'm going to tell you where we are.
We've lost our way.
I always argue with fans about it. They should just pay whatever they want for a player. If you are going to have the minimum wage go up to $20 an hour, you think that the company's going to take the hit? You're going to take the hit. So Big Mac meals are now $18 in some places.
Yeah, but it's so you're absolutely right. Anytime they raise the price for anything, like it's disgusting what they pay the delivery people. But if they raise the price on the delivery people, we're paying for that too.
I shouldn't do it, but you'll find out when you have kids.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest problems with the country is they want everybody to eat healthy, but healthy's more expensive and inconvenient. There's nothing more convenient when the kids are screaming, it's dinner time, you've got literally 15 minutes before you've got to be someplace, go through the drive-thru at McDonald's. I'm sorry, you don't want to have to do it. It's child abuse. I get it.
I don't know.
What else are you going to I'm telling you, anybody that's sitting, I'll never do that when I have kids.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're going to do it.
No,
and you're going to do it well.
But it's messed up. When I was a kid, Don, when I was a kid, we got the quarter pounder meal at the NIH McDonald's right near my house in Bethesda, Maryland. The QPC meal, quarter pounder with cheese, came to, with tax, $3.14. But think about it. That doesn't align. I just want everyone to be clear. That is not inflation. That is just these companies getting record money and ripping us off.
Wow.
General Mills has raised the price of cereal, guys. It's $8 a box.
When did you turn into an old man? I mean, really, shut my clothes now.
This is insane.
You're supposed to be the hip guy.
Hold on. What is is it unhip to care about Americans being ripped off? All these companies are reporting record earnings.
But to
They're
your
just
point,
ripping us off.
When I go to McDonald's, 2 Happy Meals for the kids.
What does it come to?
And I get,
what do you get?
I'll treat myself every once in a while. A Big Mac, no cheese, and I'll get like 10 nuggets.
Is that a meal or just the Big Mac?
Just a meal. No drinks.
Oh no, so just the Big Mac and the nuggets.
Yeah, and in Nancy will get a quarter pounder with cheese and a large fry, and it's like $50. Like, I can't believe I'm going to McDonald's. I'm driving home. I'm looking at the receipt. Like, I spent $50 on what?
On a quality meal. You know what?
No,
Here's
listen,
a way to cut back, and it's hard for the kids to understand it. I stop with the Happy Meals. You don't need a toy. They'll give you the same thing that's in that box for $1 less.
Wait, first of all, is that true?
I had heard.
The Happy Meal, they upcharge
Of course,
from the
because you're getting
meal?
a toy.
Yeah, but they love the toy, Michael.
Now get over it.
No, but yeah.
That's where I like that. That's where Michael. Hold on, real quick. Yesterday, for everyone paying attention at home, Michael and his wife agreed no Christmas gifts.
Right.
Michael walked right into the Gucci store and buys her a bag. But the way that he's saving money is by not allowing the kids to get the Happy Meal toy. I love what
They're
you're
9
doing.
and 10 years old. They don't need a little toy.
I heard this on the morning show. Rothenberg mentioned this a couple of years ago.
That's a guy who lives in McDonald's, I'm sure.
But that after Toys R Us folded,
sad day.
that McDonald's became the largest toy manufacturer in the country because of the Happy Meals.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
It sounds great. He said it, and I think it makes sense.
If Dave Rothenberg says it, you think it's fact?
By the way, there is a Toys R Us for all you people with kids. There's a Toys R Us in the American Dream Mall.
That's where the kids are today.
Oh, they're gonna love it.
I saw
and right across the way from the Toys R Us is It's Sugar. I mean, it's really a child's crack den. That's what it is.
Is it a fun place to go or no? Only if you're a child.
Well, I mean, a parent, you're gonna be soaked for money.
Oh, it's not right. What's happening here, guys?
But you know what is right? What the Knicks are doing.
Fair.
Because yesterday they beat a team they're supposed to beat. Although the Bulls were playing pretty well coming in, they're under 500, and the Knicks beat them 116-100. And I think the key to what the Knicks did, and the key to what you'll see the Knicks do from now on, is OG Anunoby did not have a great game scoring-wise. But that's not what he's about. This guy just shuts people down. We had Tom Crean on yesterday, who coached him in Indiana.
Very good, by the way. You should go listen to the podcast.
Was great.
If you missed
he was great, and he sang this guy's praises that he does what needs to be done and shuts you down defensively. And then Brunson was quoted after the game. He said, "You watch the things that this guy does defensively. People just don't do it." He said, "This guy's a different bird." I mean, this could turn out to be a really good deal for the Knicks, and for everybody with the knee-jerk reaction, "Oh, the Knicks got fleeced." You're going to really look dumb because this guy fits exactly what they do, fits Thibodeau's style exactly, and the Knicks are going to win their games. They are. I don't know how far they're going to go, but when you have a shutdown defender who can be on anybody from 1 to 5, then you've got a really valuable player, because in the NBA, a lot of people don't play defense.
But in the playoffs, Michael, you want to win a series, especially a series you're not supposed to. That's going to be a nice quality for this team. Now, Crean had them going all the way. I don't see that. But I think it's on the table they can get to the Final Four. It's going to be hard. They're going to need a lot of things to break their way. But can they get a 4 seed? Can they play in the conference final? I think that's on the table, and I think it's more on the table than it was before the deal.
Yeah, I like the deal. I really do. I like the deal, and I like the way the Knicks are taking baby steps. Stephen A. Smith yesterday on the pregame show said, I'm a bigger star than anybody on the Knicks. I don't care about stars, Stephen. I care about guys that can play. And these guys, Randall can play, Brunson can play, Anunoby fits in, and all the big fear that everybody had, well, you traded away your bench depth. No, you traded away guys that played well off the bench. Now other guys are going to get an opportunity. So let's see McBride step up, let's see Grimes step up, and maybe they'll fill the void of Quickly.
Here we go.
Michael said something very interesting years ago.
Oh, no.
Boston's going to be different once the Red Sox win. Chicago's going to be different once the Cubs win. I think Steven's going to be different if the Knicks ever win, because I think it's part of his shtick, and I use shtick honestly, because that's what it is. Like his cowboy thing about hating on the Cowboys, hating on the Knicks has become his thing. For him to say that, I know it's probably tongue-in-cheek, Michael, but I want to hear it. Yes, let them hear it. Here we go.
This is the Mecca. This is Madison Square Garden. This is New York City, baby. They can't get a star. They cannot get a start. You had a chance. You had a chance, and you passed up. I don't care what Woj with this is excellent information, all the inside info. He will break it down to a science and make you say, yeah, it makes sense. But it doesn't change the reality hospitality. It's the Mecca, and the stars come to visit. We never have any. Do you realize a legitimate argument could be made that Stephen A. Smith is one of the big stars in New York? You realize that? That's a damn shame. Yeah. A bad knees, 56 years old, ain't thought about playing basketball in about 30 years, and I am a bigger star than most of the New York Knicks.
See, I think he's generous that he said most.
Now, but here's the thing: is so what? When you're still banging on that same drum, they can't get a star. Can you look at what's happening here and not appreciate it if you're a supposed fan of the team? That it's a slow burn. I get it. But these fans that want the instant access, the instant championship, it's very difficult for that to happen. But they're building it the right way. They're moving in the right direction. That's the analysis you want. Instead of this, banging the same tired drum. They don't have any stars. I think Steven loses a big piece of his shtick if the Knicks ever become good. Because it's easy to hammer them. Why are you hammering them now?
What do you want to do? If they can't get a star, they should just fold? They're doing it the right way. They're trying to get stars. They're waiting for something to shake loose. They were in on Donovan Mitchell. They didn't get him. So they built a really good team. Do people forget how 20 years this was a vast nuclear wasteland?
See, and everybody makes the excuses. It's Dolan, or it's the pressure of the media in New York, or whatever. The reason the Knicks haven't been able to land a big star is because they haven't won in 50 years, and they haven't come close to winning in 25. But if they're playing in a conference final, Michael, and they're playing the Bucks and they're playing the Celtics and they lose in 6 games and the building is electric and the city is hopping. You saw what happened when they won a playoff game against the Hawks a couple of years ago. They took to the streets. You saw this Knicks fan base rallied around this team for losing in the second round to the Heat last year. If this team made it to the third round, you don't think that would finally break the seal and get people to say, I want to play in New York for this coach and this team that's moving in the right direction? That's going to change everything. And they finally built a team that maybe, just maybe, can do that.
And also, when you say there are no stars, Julius Randle is very literally an all-star.
And Brunson's a star, Michael.
Of course he is.
I mean, he may go about it a little bit differently than a lot of other players because of his position. But if you watch him every day, that's a star, Michael. And Julius Randle can be frustrating, but he is a star. Listen, I'm a big fan of Steven, and he knows way more basketball than I can. But when I heard that, I was like, come on, man. Now, this is when you want to do that? This is what, because that's like a big bullet in his gun of let's bang on the Knicks.
You know what?
Now's not the time.
Isaiah Hartenstein, not a star. Last night, 10 points, 20 rebounds, 5 blocks, a plus 32 when he was on the court. Same thing with Anunoby. These guys are good players. They've put together a good team. Is it a championship team? No, I don't think so. But Woj was reporting yesterday, they are taking their swing. They're probably not going to be able to get a deal done this year because teams don't want to trade their stars in the middle of the season. But during the offseason, somebody's going to be disgruntled. Some teams aren't going to make the playoffs. Somebody's going to go to their GM or owner and say, I want out. And then the Knicks will pounce. They have all those first-round draft picks. Forget about stars. Give me a winning team. This team was beyond awful for 20 years. And now all they do is win 45 to 50 games. I'll take it. It's not all about winning championships. I know we haven't had a championship here with the Knicks since '73. I get it, and that's the ultimate goal. But can't you sit back and enjoy the fact that they're a good team?
So what are you just supposed to sit there and do nothing until that happens? Or have a team that you feel proud to root for, a team that can score, a team that wins at home? It's just really frustrating because the Knicks fans are optimistic, and they've got a real reason to feel good about this. A lot of them didn't love the deal, and the knee-jerk reaction was negative because I get it. This team usually drops the ball in moments like this. But if you really just take a second and take a look at what this team is doing, it's fun.
Yeah, listen, I do understand why fans are frustrated with the baby steps. But at the same time, these are like, think about the other teams we're talking about today, guys. Well, think about what we're saying about the Jets and the Giants. Baby steps, there are no steps. It's the same thing every year. We get to the end of the year and we go, well, let's see what happens next year. Are we going to start over? Do we have a quarterback? Do we have a coach? Do we have this? Do we have that? We have nothing. In the case of the Knicks, step by step over the last few years, they have been better. And evidence suggests, guys, that this year they're poised to have the best season they've had so far. So I get why fans could be that way, But you have to think a knowledgeable basketball fan like Steven has to appreciate that regardless of the lack of star, this is a team that is absolutely going the right direction.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Chef Louie in Beacon. Chef Louie.
See, this is what we need. See, we need this. Thank you, Chef.
What's up, Chef?
Chef?
Oh, come on, man.
We needed you, Chef.
What the F?
Well, what he was going to say, hopefully we'll get him back, is I guess it depends on the chef whether they get insulted by well done.
All right, let's go to Andrew in Pennsylvania. He wants to talk about the same thing.
Okay.
Michael, Don, and Peter. What's
How
up,
you
guys?
doing, Andrew?
First-time callers. I'm a little nervous here.
Don't be.
Never. We're hacks.
So, thank you. I worked in the restaurant industry for like 10 years, and it's pretty even with customers that order well done and rare. The funny thing is when somebody that really wants it well done, they'll come in and they'll tell you they want it burnt like the sole of a shoe, or someone will tell you they want it so rare that it's dripping blood off the plate. I think chefs look at it like art. They want to create the template or the palette for their customers, no matter how they want their steak cooked. So that's the way at least I looked at it when I was a cook. You want to do your best. Do your best for your customers.
Well, Andrew, I guess what I'm talking about is the high-end chefs, like Peter said, the Michelin star restaurants. They're not going to do it. They will say no.
What about Del Frisco's? Because that's
Del Frisco's might get a little upset if you say well done. I think they'll bring it, but I don't think they'll be pleased.
I think they're used to it. I think Del Frisco's getting well done orders. I do.
You got to think a head-end chef is more like an artist. They're there to paint their food is their artwork. They don't want to. I don't know. They don't want to spit in it.
Yeah, but if you're ordering a well-done steak, Andrew, you're taking the art out of the cook. You just are. That's not art.
But
I could do that.
I get it, but you also, the customer's always right. You're there to serve the customer. If the customer likes their steak
couldn't agree
well
with you
done,
more.
Then
But
if
these
you're talented
guys,
enough, make it
these
work.
guys are very, very into themselves.
How do we? This is such a broad generalization.
That's what we do here.
Listen, I know, and I have had friends, like I remember once Ballard practically spit out his wine when we were at, Ebro had a birthday dinner somewhere.
And
a
Ballard
nice
was
place.
invited?
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
Ballard was
my
there as
goodness.
well. Ballard. I mean, Ebro's a very generous guy. He said, I'm with Ballard all the time. So he was like, yeah, bring Ballard, of course. So I brought Ballard with me. We go to Ebro's birthday thing. It was a big dinner. It was like 40 people there.
Sounds like Michael would have said no.
No, I would have said yes. I like Ebro.
No, meaning Ballard.
Yeah, of course. He would have said no. He's disgusted by him. So it's a pretty nice place. And it was one of those deals where when people order the steak, I guess they gave Ebro one of those deals where like, hey, we're going to bring out steaks for everybody, blah, blah, blah. And they would slice the steaks, right? And so they'd come to the table with a plate of sliced steak, and people would share that, and then there'd be sides, right? One of our friends, my buddy Dominican Drew, was
Is that
like,
his given
hey,
name?
That's right. His first name Dominican, last name Drew.
You don't call him the Dominican.
No, if you call him the Dominican Drew, you got a problem. And I remember Dominican Drew was like, hey, can we get one of these well done?
Oh.
Ballard was beside himself.
Ballard's classy?
Ballard's a very high-level foodie. There's no one who's restaurant. He has some of the best restaurant knowledge in New York of anyone.
I mean, it looks like he eats a lot. I get that, but I mean, but he likes like really high-end food.
Of course he does.
Interesting.
He likes delightful. But here's the thing. But at the same time, I hear it's taste though, man. If people like their steak, they don't want it red. It grosses them out. But they don't want to. For me, it's less the grossed out. It's more if it's not done perfectly, I just don't feel like chewing and chewing. I need it to be perfect. I don't want to be sitting there chewing your raw meat.
I'm going to need that later, Anthony. Let's go to Spike in St. Pete. Spike.
Hey.
Hey, boys. Been a little under the weather, so I
I'm
just
sorry.
randomly. No, it's just it got really cold here really fast. And
Move back to New York. Stop the nonsense,
Yeah,
Spike.
come on. What are you doing
in Florida?
Yeah, well, sometimes I miss all the events and the people. But let me get to the reason I called. one of my great pleasures is Bill Daughtry, but Larry Hardesty, and Dave Rothenberg at one point did the poster game and calling right after the Knick game. It's a raw reaction of people. I give the management a lot of credit. Scott Perry's mission and strategy of doing it just wasn't working, as was Steve Mills. So they cleaned house. Leon's been as patient as Joe. He's just been perfect here. I watched this kid his first year at Indiana. You mentioned you had the coach on yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he married to one of the Harbaugh sisters? Or the Harbaugh sisters?
He is.
Yeah, so Tom Green. Good, really good coach. Anyway, I watched Anunoby play there. First year, he shot 45% from three. But I watched him, and I kept saying to buddies of mine who know basketball like I do, this court's 50 by 94. This guy's got a wingspan, and he gets into his hands, get into the passing lane. He had 4 deflections in the fourth quarter. They don't stat that. I don't know why they don't, but they don't. It's pretty easy to do with all the cameras. He's right on this guy, and do you notice how he moves without the ball? And I'll give you another thing to keep an eye on. When DiVincenzo and Anunoby are on the court between the hash marks or the circles, there's havoc going on there. I'm sure you noticed it. And you see Andre Drummond is playing a back-to-back. He's about 30 pounds overweight, and he took an elbow. But Hardenstein played like Rambo last night. I mean, this team is good. Do they need another guy? I'll give you 3 guys. First of all, you got to give McBride and Grimes. You got to give them until before February 8th. You got to give them 12, 15 games. Run them out there with Tibbs. It'll be 7 minutes at a shot, but that's the way it works. Quickly wasn't going to sign. This is all repetitive stuff. I love R.J. Barrett as a kid, but his game's the same at 18, 23, and 30, and he'll play 12 years in the league and maybe not make an all-star team. But his defensive integrity, it just slipped. Something happened to him. He's a tweener, Michael. He doesn't fit somewhere, but he was good in the playoffs, and he's a great kid, and he's playing well with Toronto, and I only wish them well. It's a good family. But I think the Knicks can compete with anybody. Peter, you're not going to like me for this. You'll like me for other things. But Boston, Porzingis going to miss some games. And their bench is weak. Peyton Pritchard's their only shooter off the bench. They got to get another bench player like the Knicks do. But defensively, this kid with the 2 guys from Villanova, and it relaxes Randall and Brunson. You saw it last night. You know they're going to win that game.
And you know what else it does, Spike? The guy, and we thank you for the call, he plies his trade in the corner offensively. That opens up the lane for Randall, which he has to have, and for Brunson to create. Anthony Greek just sent this to me. Gordon Ramsay, famous chef, notorious hater of well-done steaks. He has stated that, quote, whatever quality of beef it is, it's gone past any form of taste when you've cooked it well done.
I get what he's saying. I'll put it this way.
I don't like it bleeding. I mean, I like it medium.
I get why a well-done piece of steak, you could have the highest quality steak or a lower-end steak, and it kind of all becomes the same when it's well done. I get that, and I see why a chef would not appreciate that. But there are just some people who enjoy the taste of a well-done steak. It is what it is.
Yeah. Let's break. You know, we talked about the Giants at the beginning of the show. Now we'll talk to Amani Toomer and see exactly what he knows about what's going on in that building. That's coming up right here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
Guys with bad jeans, are they worth it?
Jeans go with everything.
They go with nothing. Dudes, get the new Only Pant by Fabletics.
Awesome.
Want one pair of pants that does everything like magic? Breathable cooling tech. Always stretch. Secure phone pocket.
Bro, I'm in an Only Pant ad.
Water repellent. Work, golf, date night, hiking, biking. It's so everything.
See this stretch?
You forget about the deal you're getting.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get the Only Pant for $19 at Fabletics.com.
The next Mega Millions drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
What do water pipes break?
Home questions don't have to keep you up at night. Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Your fan engagement with Yes Rewards on the Yes app. Watch live games and earn points. Play the hottest games and score more. Earn status, then redeem your points to win prizes. Yes Rewards on the Yes app.
It's going to be a chess match. Yankees hot stove is back. A lot to talk about.
What are the Yankees going to do next?
Where do you pivot to? What is your plan B?
Plus, you never know what guests will join us.
Yo, you think Dallas' Power 4 gonna drop 30 tomorrow?
Why are you tripping?
Did you see his mom made a post about going to the game?
What? Hold up. His mama gonna be there?
He's been averaging like 34 points a game when she's there.
At least 40 when she be on that Jumbotron.
He don't like to let his mama down.
Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Cash in on your sports fandom with Prize Picks.
My dad, he's a double amputee, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. To me, a hero is someone who fights for our country and freedom. My dad is a hero. Homes for Our Troops built this house, and it's basically made for him. My dad can get through the wide doorways. When he is making our lunch, he can reach anything we need. He'll help me build tiny projects. Life is good here. Without Homes for Our Troops, we'd be living in a home that didn't have all these features that helped him.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post-9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives.
If they get a new house like this one, it'll help them do normal life. My dad's not just a hero, he's my hero.
Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
It's time now for the Amani Toomer Report, brought to you by Bigelow Tea. And Amani joins us now. Amani, Happy New Year, first of all. Secondly, we opened up the show talking about, Jordan Ronan reporting that there is a segment in that building that doesn't like Brian Daboll. The coaches think it's too much. The players don't like it either. I think Dable's a good coach. I think you work through that stuff, but you're in the building a lot. Do you sense that at all, Amani?
No, I don't sense that at all. And, you know, I would be upset if the whole coaching staff was kumbaya and everything was good. This was a bad season. They took a huge step back, and I think the most important part of this season is what we've learned about Brian Daboll is being able to take Tommy DeVito and take Tyrod Taylor and take Daniel Jones and make them the best versions of themselves. That's a talent that I think people are underestimating. I don't care if the coaches don't get along. That to me never really meant much. I remember my first day playing at the Giants. The offensive line coach and the defensive line were belly bumping each other, getting ready to fight. So it's a high-stress situation. Everybody's upset, and I'm glad that they're upset. I don't want them to be happy right now. There's nothing to be happy about in this season when they took a huge step back.
Well, my feeling was, Amon, I don't know what's true, what's not true, but if they end up losing some coaches because they don't want to be with Brian Daboll, I need to get to the bottom of that. I just can't disregard it and say, sorry, you're going to have to toughen up. If I'm going to get behind Brian Daboll and I lose Wink and I lose Kafka and I have a difficult time finding coaches that want to be a part of my team, I got to get to the bottom of why that is.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to you guys speak the whole time, and you guys are having a great conversation. I would just add in that, you know, one of the callers that said earlier, there's only 31 other jobs out there to be an offensive coordinator and to be at the stepping stone of being a head coach. They got their opportunities, both Kafka and Wink last year, and they didn't pull the trigger. They didn't get the job. And now they're in a worse position. If they were a stock, they would be down right now, especially Mike Kafka. No disrespect, but, I mean, the injuries played a huge role. Their starting left tackle, the offensive line iterations really curtailed it. But you know what? You know, just like last year when he was hot, this year he's not. So I just feel like, you know, you don't really need people to like you. They just need to respect that you are heading in the right direction and you have the team first. I mean, when you look at Tom Coughlin, you guys were talking about that earlier in the show. Tom Coughlin was not an easy guy to get along with. People didn't get along with him, but they respected how he approached the game, how he got everybody prepared, and he led the team. You're not going to be the most liked person being the quarterback of the team, which I talked about before many times on this program, and you're not going to be the most liked being the boss of everybody. And you know, that's just the way it is. And when things go wrong and things you're not as successful as you were the year before, there's going to be some tension. It's natural. Now, can they work it through? That's an entirely different situation. I think it would be a mistake for both of those coordinators to leave under these type of situations, because I remember when Sean Payton, you know, was forced to do some, you know, he was offense coordinator of the Giants, and you know, our coach at the time, Jim Fossil, was not the greatest person towards him. But he just sucked it up, did the job until he got his other opportunity. But we were successful, so he did get another opportunity. At the end of the day, it's a performance-based business, and you got to perform. And both of these coordinators hadn't performed the way they hadn't performed their best to put it on their resume for them to get one of these new jobs coming out this offseason.
Now, football has obviously evolved. I mean, we're past the days of the Junction Boys where Bear Bryant could, you know, run people almost to death. But it's a tough sport, Amani, and you know, you played in a different era as well. Did you get yelled at? I mean, is it screaming all the time? Is that the way it is? And does a player not appreciate that?
Well, I feel like, you know, we were always under the impression when I was playing that when you really should worry is when the coach stops yelling at you. Because if he's yelling at you, at least it means that he cares and he expects more out of you. When the expectation drops to a level where he's apathetic, that's when you need to worry. But it's one of those things where each coach has to know their players individually. There's certain players you can yell at and help them, and there's certain players when you yell at them, they go in the tank. And it's up to that coach to realize the personality, have sidebar conversations so that he knows who he's dealing with. You can't treat everybody the same, but because everybody's buttons get pushed at a different level. So, I mean, he's yelling at Daniel Jones. Obviously, Daniel Jones can take it. He's not going to yell at somebody who doesn't feel that can take the criticism. And that's the art of a coach. You have to know when to crack the whip, and you have to know when to pat somebody on the back. And
how about
for him to keep the team the way he did is not.
How about being yelled at publicly though? Because it seems like he's done that. We've seen him on games do that. What does a player feel like that? Because a lot of coaches don't do that. Obviously, Robert Saleh doesn't, and some coaches do. I mean, Bill Parcells made a cottage industry out of embarrassing Phil Simms, screaming at him on the sidelines all the time. Again, it's a different sport, but how does a player feel if they're screamed at in public?
I mean, it depends on the player. Like I don't think that would go well with me because before anything, I'm a man, and you're not going to disrespect me in front of people. But I think one of the things that when I'm talking to Phil Simms, that's the stuff that got him going.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would yell, and they'd yell back, and then they would be ready to play. So it's not like a catch-all for everybody. Everybody is different. Everybody reacts differently to different things, and so it's like right before getting ready for a game. Sometimes you see some guys and they're like listening to their music and they're pumping, and then other guys talking about golf and talking about all kinds of stuff. Both when the football drops, when the balls get kicked off, they play at the exact same intensity. Everybody reacts differently, and I think that you can't just blanket all that he yelled at him. Like, is he a guy that takes that? Is he not a guy? I think there's more intricacies into these interpersonal relationships between a coach and a player.
I know we're just speculating, Amani, because you're not in the building, but is Dable the reason this team, you think, has had the fight that they've had down the stretch?
I mean, I do, because you don't see him, like, you see Nathaniel Hackett, right? Last year with the Denver Broncos. They gave up on him. You look at the McDaniels for the Raiders. They gave up on him. And that's not happening with the Giants. This team shows a lot of pride. They show a lot of effort. They show a lot of fight. I think, the injury situations curtailed what they were supposed to do this year. They've had a couple, no excuses, but they had a bad season. And the fact that they kept fighting and they keep on fighting to the end, there's a testament to that. Anybody can play on a team that's winning, winning a whole bunch of games, and everybody's telling them how great they are. It's the teams that come back when people are telling how terrible they are and have a little bit of a blip that shows that the culture is actually working for the New York Giants.
Why do you think Tyrod's still the starting quarterback with the games now not meaning anything for the standings?
Well, I think he gives them the offense has never looked better in terms of the deep throws, the mid-range throws, the ball out of the hand quicker. It looked the best when Tyrod Taylor was behind center. Mm-hmm. He just seems like he knows what he's doing better. And whenever I see a quarterback back in the pocket, looking around, trying to figure things out, and when he hits his back foot, he's not going somewhere with the football. To me, it tells you somebody who doesn't know what he's doing. So I saw that too much out of Daniel Jones. I saw that too much out of Tommy DeVito at times, even though he did play very well. But when I see Tyrod Taylor, I just see a guy who's operating the offense. Is he doing anything spectacular? I mean, I love the deep balls. I love the way he's spreading the offense. But I just feel like if you are going in your locker room in front of this team, a group of guys, and saying you want to win every game, and then you put Tommy DeVito in the kind of the way that he kind of fizzled out there towards the end, you're being disingenuous. And I feel like if they believe that Tommy DeVito gave them a better opportunity to win, Tommy DeVito would be fine.
But here's where I'll push back. There was a game when Tyrod Taylor was healthy and Tommy DeVito was healthy, and Tommy DeVito started. And it's not about winning games right now. You always want to try to win games, but Amani, you know what you have in Tyrod Taylor. He's probably not going to be back with the Giants next year. I mean, you can continue to get a real free look at Tommy DeVito and see, can I go into next year as the backup quarterback with Tommy DeVito? You're ruining an opportunity to take a look at him, and you lost the game with Tyrod anyway.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's true. That's a great point. I mean, I can't dispute that. That actually did happen. But I just feel like the team looked better. Like, they looked better against the Eagles in the second half when they played. They looked better last week versus the Rams. Mm-hmm. And that's all you really could ask for. And let's just take it a step further than that. What happens if Tyrod Taylor goes in and starts that Saints game? Does it turn into 4 games in a row? I don't know. But I feel like after the way Tommy DeVito played in the Saints game, and then he played the first half of the Eagles game, I think they had enough. And not to say that he doesn't deserve to be on the roster, and he's a developing quarterback that, did a great job for what he was asked to do. But still, at the end of the day, you have to look all those players in the eye and say, hey, look, I'm really, really trying to win. And if you're trotting Tommy DeVito out there, especially after the game and a half that he showed that futility, it's hard to convince those players to do
All right, we're talking with Amani Toomer. We have about 30 seconds, and I just wanted to get your take on this. We spoke about it yesterday, Amani. DeVito on his day off does a lot of stuff, a lot of appearances, and I don't blame him. He's trying to make money. This could be his 15 minutes of fame. Is that looked upon unfavorably by coaches when a guy is so out there? Because you could say it's an off day, but Amani, we've been told by Steve Young, you give up your life if you're a quarterback. You have to be studying tape every single minute and studying and seeing what the opposition's going to do. Do you think that he was out there so much that it probably rubbed Dable the wrong way?
I think that in the NFL, you really have to be able to do those things. You have to prove it on the field, and then they'll give you a pass. I remember Jesse Palmer was the Bachelor, and I remember talking to our backup quarterback at the time, and when Jesse Palmer decided to go out to L.A. and stay there for 2 months, he was like, it was Jason Garrett. And I'm like, Jason, but he's throwing the whole weekend. He's doing what he has to do. And he's like, and then Jason Garrett comes to me and says, do you think Peyton Manning would be out there, doing The Bachelor, or would he be working on his craft?
Come on, nobody would pick Peyton Manning. Nobody would pick Peyton Manning in The Bachelor. Jesse Palmer,
Okay, Tom Brady or Drew Brees.
All right.
Those guys would not be doing The Bachelor. They would be focusing on what they got to do. There's so few opportunities that you have in the league. Look, I get it. It's a balance. Are you going to maximize your dollars, or are you going to, maximize how you play on the field when you don't know how much longer you are going to play on the field? I think that, who knows? But I can't blame him either way. It's a decision he made, and the results are the results. He's definitely going to be a New Jersey legend. I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you what, Amani. In retrospect, it worked out for Jesse Palmer. Now he's a big star. Yeah.
Big time star. He's one of my best friends on the team. He's a big time star. I didn't even get in touch with him.
Oh, that's sad. See, that's sad.
You hate to hear that.
You could always get in touch with me, Amani. I'm nobody.
No, he's not a bad guy. He's busy. He's doing the.
You're never too busy for your friends, Amani.
I would always make time for Amani Toomer. Give me a break.
He's all over the world, though. He's worldwide. He's not just New York anymore. He's Florida, Italy, and he's all over.
Don,
well, good luck to your Wolverines, man.
Oh, yeah, you're going to Houston. Have a good time at the championship game.
Hail to the victors.
Look at you.
Man, that was a great game, man.
How hyped are you, like, all time as a sports fan? And I know it's different when you played for the school, but, like, where does this rank for you in most hyped you've been for an event?
It's up there. It's so funny because when I watch the games, I'm like, oh, Michigan, I don't really care. It's college. I don't really. But when I'm watching the game, I don't know if you can tell, but my voice is a little hoarse from yelling at the TV screen, because not only did they beat Alabama, but they beat the SEC. And I think the SEC is one of the most overrated conferences in the world, and in college football, I should say. And for them to lose to two SEC teams lost. Texas lost, which is going to be an SEC team next year, to a Big Ten team. With Washington is going to be a Big Ten team, and Michigan beat Alabama. So the Big Ten beat both SEC teams, and it just makes me smile because I can't stand all those SEC, apologists. Oh, well, they didn't want to play that game. That's why they lost their bowl games. I can't stand it. They are so overrated, dramatically overrated, and it showed when Michigan was pushing around those Alabama little boys on both the offensive line and the defensive line, pushing them around like they were little ragdolls.
Enjoy Houston. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
That's the Amani Toomer Report, brought to you by Bigelow Tea, who encourages you to grab a mug and tea proudly. We'll get you your phone calls, some baseball news as well. A lot of stuff to do right here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Hey. Rental? Yeah. You? Yeah. You know your shoe's untied. Oh!
Don't let a boxy suit ruin your night. Read from theblacktucktux.com.
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa. She's pretty good. She's like my grandma. She says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" She plays with me. She helps you feel better. Bugs and insects are healthy for you. Amelia took us to the beach. She teaches me some gymnastics. We like color. We draw flowers, and then we go skateboarding.
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
Face your friends in live competitions. And train like the pros with expert drills and metrics to track your progress. So when your moment comes, you'll be ready. Win reality. Baseball uncaged.
Play Dancing Drums Prosperity for free spins, growing reels, and other great bonus features. Find over 100,000 ways to win at GoldenNuggetCasino.com. Sign up now and we'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 in casino bonus funds.
When I was younger, I may have did some stupid things. Even committed some crimes. Even got shot. But I'm not a criminal.
I work for youth advocate programs. Yeah, I was Tamani's advocate, helping him stay out of jail, stay in the neighborhood, and get a job.
As a little kid, I experienced trauma and I acted out. Made some mistakes, but I'm not a mistake.
No, she's a good student and a great kid. As Jalen's YAP advocate, I'm always here for her.
Lots of times I'm told what I can't do. What's impossible for people like me is enough to make you lose hope. But I am not hopeless.
No way. We're working together to help Gavin see his talents and his future.
YAP is a community-based alternative to youth incarceration, congregate placement, and neighborhood violence. After completing our program, 86% of participants were living in their communities, arrest-free.
And now, I'm a YAP advocate, helping kids like me find a better way.
Youth advocate programs. Others talk social change. We make it happen.
It's easy to stay safe online. Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
You are watching Yes.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Let's take some phone calls, and then we've got some big stuff to do in the 5 o'clock hour.
You don't know.
Judy in Buffalo. Judy.
Hi, Happy New Year.
Same to you.
I just want to tell you, I agree with Peter. You know, $8 for a box of cereal, and then you call him old, and you call him not cool, and then you say in the next sentence, I'm not spending an extra $1 on a McDonald's toy for my kids. So isn't that a little contradiction?
No, because that has nothing to do with age. That has to be prudent and cheap. Peter's just, but Peter complaining about the price of cereal sounds like this is what, older people do on a fixed income. Peter's raking in money.
But so I shouldn't care about what the average people are paying for
is that
cereal?
You're really caring about average people or yourself?
I don't even buy cereal. I honestly don't even buy cereal. I just know what is happening out here.
But it just sounded so funny that in the next breath,
yes,
you're not paying $1
for a Happy Meal toy.
For his children.
And then the other thing is, then you go into a store and buy a bag of cookies, but yet you denied me sending you a beautiful homemade basket of Christmas cookies from an 82-year-old Italian-Polish woman.
Wow.
Who's been baking for years.
But Judy,
Judy, I want the cookies.
Judy, I love you, but I can't. I don't take cookies from people that I don't know you. You sound delightful. I mean, there could be some wahoo out there that's going to send cookies that are going to be laced with something. I don't eat food that fans send. I just don't. It makes me a bad guy, I guess. I don't know. Makes me suspicious.
But you know Judy.
I don't know Judy. Judy sounds like a delightful person, but I really don't know her.
I trust you, Judy.
Send it to Peter.
Okay, I'm gonna send you some of my cookies, and then Michael, you can have a choice.
Judy, no. Here's the one thing, though, Judy. Once you send me the cookies, I will share them with everyone but Michael. Even if he sees them and goes, I've changed my mind.
No. First, I wouldn't say. Here's what I would do. If you eat them and you don't die, then I would try them.
Oh. Thank you very much.
Oh, boy.
I'm a Yankees fan of 65 years, okay? And an ex-New Yorker. I mean, come on.
Judy, Judy, I don't trust anybody. I love you. We love having you on the show. You sound like somebody that I would trust, but I have no idea. I'm not.
When was the last time?
I am not going to eat any food sent by fans. I'm just not.
When was the last time a radio host was poisoned?
If it's going to be, it's going to be me.
Doesn't happen. You can trace it back. It's so easy.
That's why I was always shocked that Phil Rizzuto would eat cannolis from fans. No, thank you. People send stuff up the booth all the time. I don't eat it.
But why?
Because I'm afraid.
Of what? There's no evidence to be afraid. Where's the example? Where?
Well, I don't.
One time anthrax was sent to CNN in like 25 years. Well, when has anybody been poisoned?
No,
when?
you know what?
If you had a laundry list, I'd say, you know what? It's a legitimate concern. But your concern is I'll be the first.
Would you agree, Don, rather than fight about this, would you agree that the world is a very dark place now?
Very dark.
Okay, I'll sit it out.
But not nearly as dark as it is in Michael's head.
No. Things are much darker in my head. I agree, but it's dark.
You know, I don't know if you ever had this experience, Don. Sometimes I'll have a dream, and it's more of a nightmare, right? And in this dream/nightmare, the world is so scary and dark. Like something's happening, it just feels so. I'm terrified. And then I wake up from the dream, and I go, oh my God, I'm not scared. The world isn't nearly as scary and dark as it was in my nightmare. When Michael wakes up, there's no difference.
None.
Every day
is a sad existence.
The things that I have found out recently that Michael doesn't enjoy in a real way, it's...
Well, you really want to spit out what we talk about in private. You want to do it.
You have no idea. You have no idea.
It's all we've talked about during breaks.
It would be a week of shows. It may change the future of this show forever.
Oh, yeah, it would change my future for sure.
Well, I mean, there's nothing bad. None of it was bad. Explained the right way, it's not bad. It's just psychotic.
I'm not sure we'd last a week.
Yeah, I mean, we may lose the show. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think people just go, wow, what an interesting man that is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could say I'm interesting. You could say I'm deranged. You could say I'm damaged. All of those things are true.
I just think there's a lot of things that are in Michael's life that are completely wasted on him.
Yeah.
For instance.
Yeah.
Like great food, the access to tremendous food.
I love great food, but the food that I like is great. I love the.
But you don't even know because you don't try it.
I love a great steak. I love a great chicken parmesan. I love it. If it's well done, it's great. It's even better.
It's 2 items you just mentioned.
Okay, I love great pizza.
That's 3 items. Literally, these are the items that it's the menu.
I love wings. I love fried chicken. I mean, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Okay? Don't worry about me.
We're worried though.
Yesterday we were legitimately.
Yeah, well, that was. But you can't enjoy a massage. You can't enjoy Judy's cookies.
I probably can if I get her vetted and I know that she's all fine.
Fair enough.
All right, some baseball news. We'll come back with that in just a moment. But first, Peter's going to tell us all about what a weirdo I am and also FanDuel.
Listen, we get that ordering a suit online can seem a little risky. That's why we have a home try-on program. Go to theblacktux.com/try. With so many good options, it might be hard to choose. We'll ship your selection to you to try out for 48 hours on us. When it arrives, put it on and make sure every detail's perfect. Once your 2 days are up, pack it back in the box, attach the free shipping label, and send it back to us. And when you're ready to rent for real, just head back to the Black Tux and make your order official.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
Why do water pipes break?
Home questions don't have to keep you up at night. Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
I have to find a babysitter.
I have a lot of questions.
When can they start?
Today? Now? Tomorrow?
How about Saturday and Sunday?
I need any kind of day.
My wife and I haven't been out in a year.
We need a date night. No offense.
Help!
Can I check reviews?
Are they background checked?
Do I have to go pick them up?
Can they handle all this?
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
I won the lottery with Jack Pocket.
Press the button to order your lottery tickets. It's that easy.
You know, that really happened. I was in the bathtub and I was like, oh my God, I got to put my numbers in. And I grabbed my phone and
my phone started exploding with texts and emails from Jack Pocket telling me I won big. I still can't believe I'm a lottery winner.
How did I celebrate? I kind of did a little happy dance out to the living room.
Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free.
It started when he ordered his Brunt work boots. He's going on about how they're comfortable as sneakers, but he never takes them off. With his buddies at night, I caught him in the shower, and he just goes, "What? They're waterproof."
Brunt, the tools you wear.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
If you suspect Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
This Dalvin Cook had cleared waivers, and now he is signed with the Baltimore Ravens. So he goes from the outhouse to the penthouse, and now on a team with a chance to win a Super Bowl. Here's one thing I didn't understand. I know this is going to paint me as a bad guy, but one of the things that came out of the Jets when they released Cook, they're going to give him an opportunity to hook on with a good team. Why? What is it, Father Flanagan? What are you, Boys Town? What are you doing? You're running a business. You know how bad you'll look? You released a guy if he goes on and wins a Super Bowl? Why?
I disagree. I think that makes you look like a better organization. Like, why hold him hostage? You're not using him. Your season's over. You can let him go, hook up with another team to win a Super Bowl. Don't you think players around the league would look and say, good job out of the Jets for doing that?
I think it's foolish.
I appreciate that.
I think you're making yourself saps. No, you're going to put a guy on a Super Bowl winning team.
So
how does that help you?
You're not using them.
Forget about being a nice guy. How does that help the Jets? Now you're saying it helps the Jets that other teams might look at it and go, "Wow, isn't that nice?"
Yeah, it's all about trying to win free agents and look good in the eyes of the players.
Okay, so you think those same players are going to look and see, "Wow, Dalvin Cook signed with the Jets. They didn't even use him. They made him into a non-entity without any value whatsoever."
But that was going to be the case even if he stayed on the team. Right? So it didn't work. Remember, everybody loved getting him. It was like a great coup to get him. They didn't use him properly. He wasn't that great. The offensive line stunk. The offense is like one of the worst offenses we've seen in decades. Didn't work out. Now they're playing a meaningless game against the New England Patriots. He's probably not going to be used. They release him. He goes to the Baltimore Ravens, have a chance to win a Super Bowl. You ask how that makes the Jets look. In the eyes of a lot of players, they'll go, hey, good job doing it for Dalvin. Instead of holding him hostage and making him finish the season with the Jets, he now had a chance to hook up and win a Super Bowl. Hey, you don't think that has some value? How your organization looks to players?
I don't see.
That's a good thing.
I don't see Bill Belichick doing that. I don't see great organizations doing that. Also, great organizations aren't playing out the string like the Jets, so I guess it's not applicable. But I just wonder. It's not a good look to me. Yeah, you're running a charity? What are you doing?
On the list of things that are not a good look at this point, how high is this on the list?
Listen, you're absolutely right.
This has been...
But it's another layer of what the Jets are about.
But wait a minute. So you're Joe Douglas. I don't know if this is the case or not. We asked Robert Saleh about it, and that's not what he said. He's like, it's bookkeeping or whatever. Maybe they want to play somebody else, and to make room for that to happen on the game Sunday, they had to let Dalvin Cook go. I don't know. But let's just say Joe Douglas likes Dalvin Cook, liked the work that he put in here. Didn't work out, unfortunately. So I've got an opportunity to release you and hook up with another team. I don't know if anybody's going to do that, but it's possible that Joe Douglas had conversations with some teams who said, I'm not going to trade for him, but if you release him, I'd give him a shot. Go to Baltimore, have a chance to win a Super Bowl. Like, why that personal relationship? Wouldn't you do that, Michael?
No.
If you're the general manager of a team and you like the guy, you know you're not going to use him, the game doesn't have a meaning for the standings. Hey, I'm going to do you the favor. You're a good guy. Go see if you can go play and win a championship.
$6.8 million they paid for this guy. They got nothing out of him, and now you're going to sit back and watch him maybe celebrate a Super Bowl? I think it's an awful look. I'm sorry.
And by the way, there's an added way here that because of this, they can look even worse.
How's that?
Dalvin Cook plays great.
Right.
So then you go see him show up on a great team, be completely effective, look like the guy he was. He made $6.8 million for nothing with you guys. Does well with another team. I hear what you're saying.
But Peter, and I don't know, is it possible that he could have went to Joe Douglas and do me a favor, release him?
I say no. Sorry, Dalvin, no.
But would you do that, honestly, Peter? Like, forget about how it looks. I don't think anybody cares how it looks.
It will look terrible. Peter's right, though. If he does great and balls out with Baltimore, the Jets are going to look awful.
And by the way, chances are there's a much higher likelihood he will ball out with Baltimore because they're Baltimore.
Yeah, but we saw that with Tony when the Super Bowl in Kansas City looked awful for the Giants until he's dropping passes this year for Kansas City, and then it looked great for the Giants. So it's very fluid, but the point is you have relationships in this league. Peter, if you got to know Dalvin when he was here, liked him, and Dalvin came to you and said, do me a favor, this game against New England doesn't mean anything. I got a chance to hook up, and maybe I'm 28 years old. I don't know how much longer I got as a running back in this league. Maybe I can hook up with a team and win a Super Bowl. You can say, no, it's going to make us look bad. Sorry, go to New England and play.
Yeah. If there's no
that's
purpose,
just not being human.
and they know they're not using him at all. I hear him.
You're a nicer guy than me, Don.
But I just...
Well, that is true. Well, yeah. Why do we have to continue from that? Yeah. We all know that. Everybody listening knows
just
that.
Look at the Jets and the way they're run, and they're letting a guy who had 4 snaps run the organization. They look like saps all the time.
You're not disagreeing with that, are you?
No, because
they look like saps in a million ways.
Peter said it. There's a million reasons why they look like saps, but I just think they're personal relationships in this league. Never mind.
This has nothing to do with Cook. It has to do with the agent, probably. They want to curry favor with the agent.
Well, but is that a bad thing?
That's a positive, but it's not going to look good when he has 150 yards in the Super Bowl. They'll look like morons.
But you're already sub-moron, right? I mean, so how can you be worse? Can you look dumber? Could this season be any worse for the Jets?
Yeah, if he wins the Super Bowl and balls out, they look worse. That they don't know how to employ an offensive weapon.
His agent might have a client that could really help the Jets next year, and because of this, that maybe you have an inside track of signing that player. I mean, that could also help too. And also, it's just being decent. I mean, Dalvin Cook, I don't think he played well. It's not all the Jets' fault. They did not get what they thought they were going to get from him. They didn't use him well. The offensive line stunk. There's a lot of things. It didn't work. But what's wrong with just being a nice guy? He's got a chance to go win a Super Bowl. Like everything you have to do has to be how people are going to look at you. No one is ever going to look at the 2023 season longingly about the New York Jets. It's over. It's done. It's a failure. But if I could do a favor for a guy, do something nice, whether it's the Curry favor with his agent or just do the decent thing.
Of all the things that you and ways that you would describe the National Football League, let's be nice is not the slogan.
But it can be, to Don's point, though, if there's an agent relationship. If there are other things
but just tell me the successful organizations that do stuff like this. They don't. They don't.
I don't have enough. You may be.
All right, so I want to. This is directed more toward Don.
Nice.
So there's a guy who works at Yes. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a very talented producer.
Do you have a name?
I don't want to give his name because I don't want to get him in trouble. But he's a big Met fan. Like a big Met fan. Grown up, Mets, all he cares about is Mets.
Okay, I feel bad for him already.
And the Mets signed Harrison Bader today.
Right. Was it $5 million for 1 year?
No, $10.5 million.
Oh, that's right. I heard a 5. Whatever, 10.5.
So now I don't think it's a terrible move for the Mets because you could play him in center and move Nimmo over to left. Now, Harrison Bader had a terrible year with the Yankees. He could not stay healthy. And even when he was healthy, he didn't produce offensively, although he's a terrific center fielder. So that's my take on Bader signing with the Mets. But this is what my friend said to me. I wonder if you feel the same way. He goes, this is embarrassing. Severino, Bader, you take the Yankee bench coach. He said, we're the little brothers the way it is. Do you have to keep taking ex-Yankees offered 82 and 80 team? We don't want that. Go another way. Do you feel like that or not?
There's a lot of people. I saw it on social media. It didn't cross. I didn't think that way. Right? It didn't occur to me. Just try to find players that you think can help you. Like you're not going to pick them because they were on an 82 and 80 team. Harrison Bader also had 5 home runs in the playoffs the year before. Why can't you look at it that way?
No, I think he's not saying that Bader's not a player that could help. He's saying that there are other players out there that you don't have to keep getting former Yankees that the Yankees don't want anymore.
But I don't look at it as former Yankee for anybody. If you think he can help, like, all right, it's all how you want to look at it. This is what I would say to the producer. All right, a Bader who didn't finish the season on an 82-80 team, or I could look at him as a guy that played excellent D on a team that went to the Final Four the year before, and he hit 5 home runs in the postseason. All right, Severino, a guy that didn't live up to expectations, but there was a time where it looked like he could be an outstanding pitcher, and that's what Mets are hoping to catch lightning in a bottle.
But as a Met fan, it doesn't bother you. Their manager is the Yankee bench coach.
It didn't. No, I'm being honest. It never even slightly occurred to me. Like, there was always and I know George was big. Like, get Doc, get Darryl, get Kevin Elster, get Rafael Santana. He was obsessed with getting former Mets because I think he wanted to win with those guys to stick it to the Mets when the Mets were a big deal. Get the former Mets that won and bring them to the Yankees. I don't look at this as other than players that were available that just happened to play for the Yankees. It doesn't bother me at all. I hope they do well. But honestly, it didn't even occur to me until I saw some people talking about it on social media, and you just brought it up.
All right. I just want to get your take on it. And you being a big Met fan, it doesn't bother you at all. It bothered a guy that I do respect as well. So,
hey, but look at it again. Why does everything have to be negative? Let's say these guys do great.
Then you know what? Then they look terrific. They look really smart.
Then they look great. But unfortunately, as a Met fan, you don't think about the glass half full or the positivity of it. I'm hoping, and they didn't, it's not a lot of risk. It's 1 year each for these guys, right? So if it doesn't work out, so what? But maybe, just maybe, the team, needs these guys, especially Severino. They don't have a rotation. If he finds himself, Michael, that's going to look spectacular. That the Mets were able to get something out of Severino the Yankees couldn't get over the last couple of years. That if all of a sudden Bader starts to hit, he didn't hit for the Yankees last year, but he's hitting for the Mets this year. Look at it as a positive. Come on, man. Why does everybody have to be
Well, you know what? He's listening right now, so I'll see what he says during a commercial.
There's two ways of looking at it. Number one, there's like the little brother thing. I totally understand that part. And then is there a little element, Michael, of like you can almost view it as lazy?
What do you mean?
My Stearns wasn't here last year.
That when you grab people from the Yankees, like, are you just kind of looking up and being like, all right, we know that guy, bring him over?
No, but like I said, but Stearns was in Milwaukee last year. Like, what ties does Stearns have to the whole Met-Yankee rivalry? He just looks at them as players that are available that just happen to play for the Yankees. It wasn't like, I didn't want to flip around and do the work around the league. I just put on Yes in my apartment in New York, and so like that's not how it works.
You're right, but
you could make that case if it was a general manager that had been here. That maybe it's lazy.
Right, but it's a new guy, so likelihood, no. Sure.
So there's a guy on social media who says, my God, really? I miss the days when the home of the Jets, and especially the Michael Kay show, wasn't just a constant Jets hate fest, especially Michael Kay, dude. They released him to save a few bucks. They could care less where he goes. They didn't save a dime, dude. They didn't save a dime because he wasn't picked up off waivers. The Ravens are getting him for free. They didn't save a dime. So that's a bad take. Sorry that we're not like slurping all over the Jets for you. If you slurp over the Jets after this year, you got your head examined. There's nothing to slurp. Ira yesterday said it's one of the most difficult years he's ever followed the Jets. If he's not slurping, we're not slurping.
Can we find a different word?
It's quite the word choice. But you know what? Whoever that guy is should call the show and take the L. Because you got to own when you get... we live in this world where, Michael, you say it all the time, people just don't own getting it wrong. This whole last week, there's been one article after another, one thing after another, about how Nicki Minaj publicly said on stage the other day, I don't perform the song Starships, I don't like it.
Right.
Meanwhile, when I said that 10 years ago, and granted, I didn't say it in the nicest way, I probably could have done better. I had to sit in front of her while she ripped me to shreds and destroyed me in every single way because of this take. If, God forbid, a plane of mine goes down next week, the second paragraph would be, Rosenberg rose to prominence in media when he had this feud with Nicki Minaj. It's followed me. For her, it's a little nothing. For me, it's followed my whole career. And now, Michael, she fully admits the song stinks. No one mentions, oh, hey, all the articles which broke down what a horrid slob Peter was for having this take, we apologize. Well, she's now on the same page as him. No, I'm still a disgusting chauvinist pig because I hated this song 10 years ago. No one owns the L.
No, the whole world doesn't own L's. One of the things that we talked about a lot yesterday, and we're not going to talk about it a lot today, was Kimmel on that list, right?
Sure.
And so the list came out, right? He's not on the list.
No.
But if you follow people that actually, are Aaron Rodgers fans or whatever, there's actually fake releases where they put Jimmy Kimmel's name is. That's why Jimmy Kimmel should sue, because this opens up this whole thing. So people were actually adding me today. Say you were wrong. Kimmel's on the list. No, he's not. You're just following what you want to follow. Your echo chamber. Nobody takes the L. He's not on the list.
And it's funny. This whole list is trying to be used as political. The two people's names who came out were polar opposites politically. Like both sides got stained, right?
Yeah,
I hate everyone.
So, and also the two names that were mentioned. Also, there was no mention of them doing anything illegal at the time. They just happened to be on the manifest. But both sides of the ledger were represented. So why is it even political to begin
All right,
with?
so back to baseball.
Yes.
So the rumors are out there. Blake Snell.
Love the
Snell. Really, he would really consider the Yankees. He's a free agent, won the Cy Young Award in the National League. And, Blake Snell is represented by a guy I like and I respect, but he is an agent, and that's Scott Boras. You don't think Scott Boras put that out into the universe so that teams that might be interested in Blake Snell think the Yankees are, and I don't know if the Yankees are interested or not. Now, if you said to me, Michael, would you want Blake Snell? At a reasonable salary, but at like $30 million a year, no. He's a 5-inning pitcher. He's a great pitcher. He's a 5-inning pitcher. The Yankees have enough of those. Now they might end up turning around and doing it, and then you know what? I've got to own it. But I'm not the one making the decision. But people that are getting excited that Blake Snell's interested in any free agent who does not involve the Yankees or the Mets in their area of consideration, they're not smart. Because that's going to drive up the price. You just know it is. So please, let's relax, everybody. Blake Snell's interested. Scott Boras put out there that the Yankees and Blake Snell might be interested in each other. Maybe they are. Again, I don't know. But let's relax with that. And one other thing about baseball, it's absolutely amazing to me how fans are ripping the Mets and ripping the Yankees. Before today, the Yankees signed a pitcher to a major league contract. So that's the first free agent dollar they spent. So Yankee fans, who I believe love to hate the Yankees, they don't just love the Yankees like blindly. They love to hate the Yankees. And they come out and they go, they haven't spent a dime free agent. Didn't they acquire Juan Soto? Didn't they get Alex Verdugo? Didn't that add $42 million to the payroll for next year? So they haven't gotten a free agent until today. And also, by the way, little secret, everybody, it's January 4th. Pitchers and catchers don't report until the middle of February. Let's evaluate the offseason for the Mets and the Yankees when we see what their finished roster is as they go to spring training.
I know I say this a lot, but I think it's worth repeating. That the whole, we don't buy our championships. We didn't buy our champion. We didn't buy 4 championships in 5 years. All the same people screaming, buy a championship. They went out and made the trade of the offseason. Got one of the best players in Major League Baseball. Granted, it's for a year. There's a risk. But because they didn't spend top dollar in free agency? So what are you saying? That's the only way to build a team is to outspend everybody else?
And they offered $300 million for Yamamoto.
Yeah, they were in it to the end.
I don't get people. Oh, they haven't spent a dime. They're cheap. Really? You think Soto was free? You know, the prospect capital you gave up, and you're acquiring a $32 million contract? And Verdugo's going to make $8-9 million? Well, I mean, what's wrong with you people?
Ready. Get ready for the storm if they don't re-sign him.
Listen, I wouldn't say it's a great chance because you're not going to get a bargain.
And let's face it, too, Michael, the reason that the Mets have not done very much, I think, is to make sure that next offseason they're in a position to go toe-to-toe with the Yankees for Soto.
But, see, I don't buy that, though. Because
why?
If they sign Snell and they sign Montgomery, you're telling me that Steve Cohen doesn't have the money to sign Soto? Isn't that what Steve Cohen's about? They don't have to, maneuver money. That's the one worry I have with David Stearns. You hired a guy who's a small market guy, probably has a small market thought process. The same thing what the Red Sox did with Chaim Bloom. So he wants to build a team a certain way, and you are not utilizing the strength that Steve Cohen has, which is huge money.
But I also don't want to have to be the guy that just outspends and buys it either. I mean, you can make shrewd baseball moves. Put yourself in a position where you don't necessarily have to go over the luxury tax if you don't have to, and lose out on draft position and lose out on being able to spend internationally. I understand you can do that if you really want somebody, Michael, and that's certainly what he did when he put all that money in for Verlander and the big offseason last year. But the answer shouldn't always just be, we'll just outspend everybody. What's wrong with trying to make shrewd baseball moves and maybe not have to spend as much money and put yourself in a position to spend well instead of
But
foolishly.
while the Mets are building their infrastructure to try to be the Dodgers of the East, what you should do is utilize his money to stay relevant. Another.
I don't know if they're irrelevant, though.
Another brilliant post. I want to be that guy. Michael K. rips people all the time. Rosenberg all the time for eating on the air. Plays fat pig drop. All that. K has been a broadcaster longer than most of us have been alive. Doesn't know how to use a cough button. Hypocrisy. Hey, Vin, clown boy. I don't have a cough button. That's why I don't use a cough button, you clown.
But you didn't let me up when I had my cough, and I haven't said
you know what?
I applaud that,
you're,
man.
You're allowed. You're allowed to say that to me.
I choose to be a better human being. Because I know you're suffering, and I don't want to embarrass you by constantly reminding you that you're sick the way you did with me.
Because even when you hit the cough button, we could hear you coughing on Peter's mic.
Your cough is beyond cough button. Cough button can't contain you.
Me or Don?
No, Don.
But did I need to be reminded of that? Did I need to be humiliated?
Yeah, but you know what? If you ignore the fact that you're coughing like you have consumption, we're ignoring the elephant in the room.
See, but he's still taking shots at you, isn't he?
Michael's been coughing as long, if not longer.
That is not true.
This has been going on,
That is
Michael,
not
since
true.
before
You're a liar.
How long has Michael not felt well?
Well, that's a different subject. That's permanent. That's all time. That's forever.
You know what?
I just think that they're,
I'm not.
I don't want to jump on these. These people are wrong to jump you. The way
But
that
he
they
said
do.
I don't use the
But there
cough
is a
button.
little bit of,
No, there's
but there is a
nothing
little-
to it. There's no cough button to use.
There is some hypocrisy.
But how is it? Oh my goodness gracious! There is no cough button to use.
Well,
what?
But so my cough could not be contained by the cough button, which I don't get. I think you were just noticing that I was coughing
Peter,
on yes.
did his cough come over on your mic?
No, it somehow would bleed through on some level, but
or maybe I just didn't get to it in time.
But the point is, neither of you could control it fully.
Right, I wasn't being a jerk.
Right. And I never said you were. I just commented on the fact that you were coughing like you had
incessantly.
a problem.
And did I say one word about his cough?
I didn't cough yesterday. I'm just coughing today. I feel awful. But you know what? Am I calling in sick? No.
No, but you will take credit for it.
I didn't take credit until you just brought it up, you clown.
You should be in the iron lung is your favorite quote.
Have I used it?
Not today.
I saw some information that there's only one person left still on an iron lung because they don't use it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Can you imagine he lives in an iron lung?
Yeah, 77 years old. He's the last person. Everybody else is either dead or off.
What is it again?
It helps you breathe.
But how does it work?
It's like you're in a metal coffin with your head out.
Do you remember the Big Lebowski?
Sure.
When they go to get the car, they go to get the documents. They thought the kid stole the car, and they went to go talk to him, and it's the guy that wrote for some sitcom or whatever. And he was in the iron lung in the living room.
Oh yeah.
That's the iron lung.
And you're literally inside of it?
Yeah, except your head sticks out. That's it. Like Michael said, it's like a coffin, your head sticks out.
I got to look this up. That really doesn't seem like... I'm glad technology has found a way to help people without that.
Oh, boy. We'll come back. There's an agreement between Yes and MSG that we haven't even touched on yet.
I'm confused, Michael.
You know what? I've got the information for you, and I know one thing. Peter doesn't get excited about things, but when we did it on the group text, he said, wow.
I said there's potential there. That could be very interesting.
We'll talk about it.
By the way, I just did a Google image search for iron lung. This is horrifying. It's like a horror movie. Jesus.
Hey, it's Michael K. I love when I get to talk about my friends at PC.
Hey. Rental? Yep. You? Yeah. You know, your shoe's untied.
Oh.
Don't let a boxy suit ruin your night. Read from theblackdogtux.com.
Guys, let's be honest. Buying pants sucks. It should not be this difficult. I'm looking for that one pair of pants that does everything. These just came in. They're the only pant from Fabletics Men. 4-way stretch, done. All-way stretch, you're going to feel the difference. The best thing about the only pant, honestly, everything. You almost forget about the deal that you're getting. Same premium quality as Lululemon, but at a third of the price.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
To find a babysitter.
I have a lot of questions.
When can they start?
Today? Now? Tomorrow? How about Saturday and Sunday?
I need any kind of day.
My wife and I haven't been out in a year.
We need a date night. No offense. Help!
Can I check reviews?
Are they background checked?
Do I have to go pick them up?
Can they handle all this?
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
Win big while streaming the Nets with Pick and Play on the Yes app. Make your picks before tip-off and win up to $10,000. What a move! Yes, Pick and Play. It's the game within the game, only on the Yes app.
I was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. The outlook was pretty rough. We had no hope until St. Jude rescued us. I mean, they saved him. But then it turned out he had a second cancer. To this date, we are 12 years into this journey, and from day one, we've never once seen a bill. It gave us the peace of mind to know that we're there with our son, and we're gonna beat cancer together. Now, he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, of every day being in that hospital, the knowledge that has been accumulated and shared with everyone else around the world. This is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
We're all trying to put together the pieces.
You would want to be able to be on the board.
It is clear they have a plan.
This is a move you have to make. It's going to be a chess match. Yankees hot stove is back. A lot to talk about.
What are the Yankees going to do next?
Where do you pivot to? What is your plan B?
Plus, you never know what guests will join us.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael Kay Show. The New York Rangers are looking to bounce back from their 6-1 loss at home to the Hurricanes. That loss, coupled with the Bruins' 4-1 win over Columbus, saw Boston leapfrog the Rangers for the top team in the league for now. We all saw what that meant for the Bruins last season when they were bounced in the first round by the Panthers. Tonight, the Blue Shirts get the second-to-last worst team in the league in the Chicago Blackhawks. There's just one team worse than the Hawks points-wise. and that's the San Jose Sharks. Igor Shesterkin had a bit of a hiccup against the Canes, to say the least, allowing 6 goals in that loss. And his 5-game personal winning streak before that, he had given up just 8 total goals. His tag team partner betwixt and between the pipes, 37-year-old Milford, Connecticut native Jonathan Quick, has lost 2 straight after his personal 7-game winning streak. Both goalies are in the top 25 in the league in both save percentage and goals against averages.
So if you missed it earlier, this happened, I'd say about 2 o'clock. The Yes Network and MSG Network, they formed Gotham Advanced Media and Entertainment. The acronym is GAME. It's a new technology, sports, and entertainment streaming joint venture. Now, a lot of people are getting excited that think there's going to be an app with the Rangers, the Knicks, all the MSG properties, and the Yankees and the Nets. Well, not so fast, as Lee Corso would say. I mean, that could be what happens in the future. But right now, what is happening is that they have built an infrastructure to properly run their apps that exist right now. There could be programming in the future. But right now, on this date, right now, there is no mega app that you will get that will give you all of those games. Again, that could be the end game. It could be what's happening in the future. That's a good way to, project. But at this point, Don and Peter, that's not what's happening. But it's exciting that maybe somewhere down the line it could.
So what's the immediate?
The immediate thing is that they are going to be, let's picture it's a Broadway show. So you see the things that are on the stage, but there's things behind the stage or under the stage, like the orchestra and the people that they move the props and all of that stuff. It's a consolidation of both of their brain processes, both at MSG and Yes, that will power that moving forward. But again, I don't think that's the absolute end game, but that's what it's starting right now, to give people the best experience with their streaming app. If you want to see the Yankees or the Nets or the show on the Yes app, if you want to see the Knicks or the Rangers or the Islanders or the Devils on the MSG app. They are not combined yet. I don't know if they will be. Again, if I had a bet, that might be the way to bet, but there's no definitive thing that's going to happen.
Well, what's interesting to me, forget the Giants and Jets because of the way their television is structured. It's all national, right?
Right.
So the odd man out would be the Mets, because everybody else would be on this platform, the 3 hockey teams, 2 basketball teams, and 1 of the baseball teams. So if this does come to fruition, then the Mets would be the odd man out.
The Mets would be the odd man out, but I would not eliminate the Mets from the conversation. They could join it. I don't think. I think both MSG and Yes would listen if an opportunity arises. I think it's not a good play for the Mets not to be involved because they don't have a basketball team. It's just the Mets. So the SNY is the one of the 3 networks in New York that does not have an app. You can't stream their product. You can do it on the Yes app. You could do it on the MSG app. SNY is just out there alone right now. So I would not eliminate them from the possibility of possibly maybe becoming a part of it. But at this point, that's not happening.
Interesting. There's so much going on right now, and a lot of it's kind of over my head.
Yeah, well, it's
to understand it all.
It's all going to land. We know where it's landing. We've predicted it years ago.
Tell us
the return of cable.
No, I think that. In this form, though.
In some form, it's going to be you sign up for a cable system and you get lots of choices.
Because if you now look at all of the apps that are available and all of the apps like Netflix and Paramount Plus and Prime Video and Amazon, which is Amazon, you're spending close to, if you got all of them, you're spending close to what you're spending on cable bundle.
Oh, there are definitely people spending more right now, for sure. I'm probably flirting with more because you pay for your. Well, Peacock's very affordable, but you're paying
TV?
for. the cable too. You have to pay for DirecTV or you have to pay for YouTube TV. Those ones cost you real money, like $80, whatever it is. Then you stack on top of that. By the way, Don, I haven't even mentioned this to you yet.
What's that?
Yesterday, Natalie and I finished her first time. Finished season 3 of 6 Feet Under.
Okay.
We've been cruising for the last month. Beautiful.
Do you love it? I haven't revisited that in a long time.
There's a lot of crying happening in the house, but it's great.
But from a cable, the one reason to keep cable has been for sports,
and also to get the internet so you could stream.
But the only way I can watch the Mets is keep cable. As you said, there's no SNY, there's no app for me to be able to watch them. I can watch I can have the MSG, but I'd have to buy it.
I'm told there is some version of an app to watch the Mets, but it's bad.
Oh, yeah, they do have the SNY app. That's right. I always see it on the games on the top. But they're not involved in this. Why is it bad? I mean, can you see the games?
I'm just telling you what I've heard. This is hearsay.
But, the thing was I'm paying for all these channels I don't watch. That was the problem with cable, right? You wanted to go a la carte. So you kind of go a la carte with the apps. But God, even from a sports perspective, I got to have MSG, SNY. I've got to have Peacock. I've got to have
Apple,
the Amazon. I've got to have Apple to be able to watch the baseball and all. And it's becoming like, all right, it's a la carte, but it ends up being just as expensive as cable with all the apps.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So at what point do they start coming together, like we're seeing here in some way? Do they start coming together and you just choose the package you have and what it has? It's crazy.
This is such a smart play, though. I'm surprised it took to this point to do it. But imagine if you had an app that had all New York sports on it. And I think that every New York sports fan would do that. And don't just limit it to New York. I mean, the Yankees have, they have people that love them in California and Oklahoma, whatever. This could be a national thing, too, when all is said and done. So with the failure of all the RSNs around the country, streaming is the way it's going to happen. And to be on the ground floor and have the infrastructure between these two behemoths, that's pretty smart forward thinking by both of them.
Well, that would also kill the packages, though, right? Like, never mind NFL Sunday Ticket, but
it wouldn't kill the packages. It would kill the packages if there's somebody in California that just buys the MLB package for the Yankees. But if you want to see the other teams,
That is true, but I think a lot of that is people watching out-of-market games because they have a favorite team that's out of market. But even I've had NHL Center Ice since '97, but it's amazing the amount of games now that ESPN's taken over that are on ESPN Plus that aren't ESPN exclusives, Michael, but they'll take the other feed. So there are times where I don't even go to NHL Center Ice because all those games are available on the app. There's a few that aren't, but most of the games are still available either on Hulu or ESPN Plus. So it does carve into that quite a bit, at least for me.
And if you believe what Marchand writes, he thinks that by the end of this year or next year, ESPN is going to be a total direct-to-consumer product. So you'll have to get an ESPN app.
That is.
Direct-to-consumer is like the app.
Yeah. You order it directly. Yeah. You're paying for ESPN just like Max. Or whatever. Because, I mean, it already costs. ESPN's the most expensive thing the cable companies pay for, right?
I think so.
And that's where the money comes from, right?
And I just got really bad news with regard to my TV experience, and I know the people care about this.
Desperately.
I let go of my Netflix account and Hulu and use Natalie's. That's our family account now because Natalie's a T-Mobile user, and T-Mobile gives you Netflix and Hulu.
And chill.
But now Netflix is Netflix with ads.
Oh, yeah.
Game-changing experience.
Oh, it's a 30-second ad. Would just stop.
For a 30-second ad, how often?
Not that often.
I've never watched it. Hold on, Michael, hold on. Are you paying for ads up with Netflix?
Yeah.
Wait.
Because if you get Netflix with ads, it's like $12 a month.
Yeah.
Without ads, it's like $22. I'll sit through the ads.
You, Michael K., voice of the New York Yankees and the Michael K. Show, have the cheap version of Netflix?
Yeah, so everybody feel free to keep the cheap version. Hey, speaking of streaming, I hate to do this because I'm a big Bradley Cooper fan.
You should see the reactions around the room right now. Your producers, their heads just fell into their hands.
Good for them.
I mean,
Maestro is just it's a chore. You know, sometimes you watch a movie and you go, "This is made for movie people. This is made to win an award. This is made to get an Academy Award. It's not made for people. It's not made for the general public." Really? I mean, I want you to sit through Maestro and tell me what you think.
Because we usually
did you watch it with ads or
without
no
ads?
Because he destroyed, utterly destroyed, dismantled, if you will, Tree of Life. So I watched it with zero expectation because Michael eviscerated it. I actually enjoyed it.
You would.
But what do you mean you would?
Michael has bad taste and stuff. What do you?
No, because it's just not hammered over your head. It's dumbed down. I mean, it's obviously an artsy film.
I don't like artsy things.
That.
I'm not an artsy guy.
But it's very well made.
What do I watch?
So movies. If you don't like artsy stuff.
Because I would hope that Hollywood starts making movies for the general public.
But they do. But you don't go see those movies.
What do you mean I don't go see them?
Do you go see Marvel movies? They have 29 of them.
No, that's a comic book come to life. Make a movie like the movie with Paul Giamatti, Homebound or whatever. It's excellent.
Sideways?
Not Sideways. The one that's out now.
Sideways
it's excellent.
What's the? I don't even know what the Giamatti movie is.
He's a teacher in a private boys' school, and at Christmas there are 5 kids that don't have anywhere to go. The parents just went on vacation without him, and he's the teacher that's left to take care of them. And they all learn lessons. It's 2.5 hours of greatness. Please do me a favor, Don. Please. I know you're a busy guy. Watch Maestro and tell me if it's good.
I will give it a try. But let me ask you this though. You got to play to the room. If I'm going to sit there and watch the life story of Leonard Bernstein, I'm expecting it to be artsy.
Right, it's Leonard Bernstein. I mean, right. What are you? I mean, honestly, it's a hard one for me to even put on.
No, but okay, but Leonard Bernstein, if you're going to do a movie about his life, he has a really interesting life. Again, it's so artsy. The way
but the people
shot,
that are in,
the way.
But don't you think people that are interested in his life would want it to be?
No, not necessarily. I'm interested in his life. I didn't want it like that.
So right, so you're not simply saying that it's boring, which people could argue that
it's a little boring.
Bernstein. But it's not that. It's that they're trying too hard.
They're trying really hard to to really impress the hoi polloi.
Did you like? This is we're changing directions. Did you like Joker?
Oh, I never saw it.
See, I love Joker, but I wonder if you'd think Joker was artsy.
I didn't see
because it is sort of artsy relative to that kind of movie.
See, I love the whole "what did that mean" kind of thing. Like,
see, I don't want
watching it back.
That's why I didn't like the end of Sopranos. I want to be clubbed over the head with the ending.
So you have a very pedestrian taste when it comes to cinema.
Done. I'm not that bright,
and I can't explain it, but I kind of have a thing for Carey Mulligan.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't explain it either, although she's great in this movie. This traffic report brought to you by London Jewelers, the engagement experts. Visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the newest location at the mall at Short Hills. You might not know this, but Brandy Scott hated Maestro.
You done yet? It's 2 a.m. Why are you still scrolling through videos? You're not paying me overtime here. If you really want to see something new, why not change those shades that have been broken for the past 2 years? Let's tap the Thumbtack app, and in a matter of seconds, we'll find a pro to install new shades.
Okay.
With Thumbtack, you can easily find top-rated professionals for every home project.
Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
This is the guy. Wait, this is the guy? You're thinking of getting your suit from this guy? For your wedding? Are you sure? We can do better. The Black Tux is here to help. Rent or buy, online or in a showroom, on your terms. Shipped to you wherever you are, guaranteed to fit. Because you deserve better. The Black Tux, formal wear for your moment.
At care.com, you can find all the help you need. You can find babysitters, and you can find nannies. You can find dog walkers who will step in as your best friend's new best friend. and housekeepers who can get your floors looking great, at least for a little bit. You can find companions and helpers and caregivers, but most importantly, you can find out what it's like to not have to do it all on your own. Find all the care you need at care.com.
Guys, let's be honest. Buying pants sucks. It should not be this difficult. I'm looking for that one pair of pants that does everything. These just came in. They're the only pant from Fabletics Men. 4-way stretch, done. All-way stretch, you're going to feel the difference. The best thing about the only pant, honestly, everything. You almost forget about the deal that you're getting. Same premium quality as Lululemon, but at a third of the price.
You've heard our story before. In some ways, it's yours. It's the one about rolled up sleeves, measuring twice, cutting once, and building something you're proud to put your name behind. What are we building? A different kind of workwear, inspired by the values of those who put in the work. They're the reason we make boots that feel as good at 6 p.m. as they did at 6 a.m. They're the best you've ever worked in, or we'll take them back. Brunt, the tools you wear. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
Basketball show. Folks, the league is in absolute chaos. Players going off pretty much every other night. Playing picture that, when it clears, could leave a few future Hall of Famers. It might all come down to some rookie taking free throws. Is on pace to break the The Athletic. Subscribe today.
Ma, are you sure you don't want to go bowling with us tonight? Yeah, no.
There's my little marzipan. Oh, my daughter gives the best hugs.
We're just passing through on our way to the Jazz Jamboree. And we wanted to thank America's #1 motorcycle insurer for saving us money.
Mara, your parents are
exactly like me. I know, right?
Well, cherish your friends and loved ones.
Let's roll, Daddy-O.
Let's boogie woogie.
Within 15 seconds of logging onto social media, the algorithm has your daughter in its crosshairs. It sends her a steady flow of images telling her she isn't thin enough, pretty enough. They invade her brain, causing body dysmorphia, anxiety, depression, leading to the worst rates of eating disorders, self-harm, and suicide we have ever known. All while she's sitting right next to you on her phone. Congress knows, but it refuses to act. Don't let her suffer the secret pain alone. Use your voice. Demand a plan. Join us at the Center for Countering Digital Hate, protectingkidsonline.org, because it's up to you to protect your children from social media nightmares. Join us for her, for your daughter.
Bulls on an 8-3 run as Brunson takes it inside, puts it up over White. Bodies. Bulls also commit the second fewest turnovers in the league. They're third in steals. Brunson with it on Chicago and was Mr. Basketball in Illinois in 2015 and on key. Ready to hit more threes tonight than in the entire game in Philly. Brunson from downtown. And Obi Hartenstein with his 13th rebound, leading toward Brunson 3. Brunson driving on Dosumu. Brunson gets the roll. Brunson and Hart. Here's Brunson extending. Randall and Brunson leading the way. They combined for 57 points. Make it 59.
You didn't see it coming,
No,
did you?
that's the best thing that was said? Wow.
No, it's the point, Colin.
I get it.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
what's the point?
The point is we need McDonald's sometimes.
You didn't get the point?
No, because what I did get is that, our sales staff is working on a big McDonald's promotion.
that was the moment
and you
right
just
there.
killed it by saying, I was poisoning the children. That was child
Hold on,
abuse.
in all fairness, Michael, how long you been at the station?
21 years.
When was the last time you heard a McDonald's spot? I think Don's pretty safe.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Garrett in Paramus. Garrett.
Hey, guys. How you guys
Good.
doing?
How are you?
Good. I just want to just circle it back to that conversation you guys had with, I forgot her name, Jean. But I have to side with Mike on this one.
Judy.
Just because from my personal experience.
Judy. Judy from Buffalo.
My bad, Judy. Yeah, but I remember, I think it was the first time, or second time, I remember I was hanging out with the girl, and I guess we were in the car, and she made cookies. She really made cookies, and I don't know what happened. I remember I ate one in there, and then all of a sudden, intrusive thoughts just came flying through my head that these were poison. I literally had just a panic attack right in front of her, and just ever since then, can't even leave my water bottle around the gym.
Good for you.
Or whatever. I just think people just
Were
throw
you
something in it.
poisoned, or was it just paranoia on your part?
No, it's paranoia.
Did you end up marrying this girl?
45 to an hour. No, I did not.
Too bad.
Did not.
Well, you know what? Listen, we're trying to make a joke out of it, and Don and Peter could jump me all they want. Thank you for the phone call, Garrett. Do you leave your drink at the bar and turn around, Peter?
No, but I wouldn't. I don't sit around worried about it either.
But you wouldn't do it because there are bad people out there.
I don't think. I have to tell you, I don't think about it.
Don't think about that.
Now, if I was I would think women certainly should, because I don't trust men and their filth. But as a man, I have to tell you, I don't really think about that.
Men are filth. That's your quote. So what if somebody sends me a package of baked goods at Yankee Stadium, and they say, "Oh, this is from Lori in Mayapack," but it's really from Jed in his basement in Queens. Should I eat it?
Now, fair. I will say this. Let me get specific with this cookie conversation. You just getting random packages sent to you out of nowhere, I will say I understand why you're not comfortable eating that. And you certainly don't want to set the stage for people doing that all the time. However, when someone, a listener who we've met multiple times at our events, which has happened, and they're very nice, and I've met them now a handful of times, to come and bring us a treat that looks tasty, that doesn't worry me. I see that as different.
All right, good for you. Well,
but also, you and I think about how many things I've shared a smoking apparatus with strangers, at random concerts. You've never done any of these things. These are not things you would ever do.
Right.
So
first of all, I'm a germphobe. That's number one. And call me crazy. I'm a poison phobe too. I don't want to get poisoned.
Poison phobe. But
when
where
does
did that happen? I know it's so rare.
And you know what else bothers me too?
Go ahead.
So it's very easy to get someone's home address. And I'm just advising people that think that this is the way. Anybody who sends me anything to sign at my house, it gets thrown away. You will never get a return from me if you send anything to my house, ever. I mean, people have some gall to infringe upon your private time and say, "Here, sign these 6 baseball cards." No, if you came up to me at Yankee Stadium and you asked me to sign 100 of them, I would. But to send it to my house, I just throw it away. So if you have sent stuff to my house and expect it signed, and you're wondering why you haven't, it's in the garbage.
By the way, this part I respect, because that is a violation. If you don't publicly have that, it's one thing if they send it to the station.
Right, that's a different story. Absolutely,
that's a public thing. To send it to your home is crazy.
And it happens all the time to people in this business. All the time.
It's happened to me a few times with that Topps card that I get it sent to the house. It's very
and it goes right in the trash. Sorry, and a lot of it is, I'm an 8-year-old. I don't know if you're an 8-year-old, and also you should learn a lesson, 8-year-old boy. You don't send something to somebody's private residence. You just don't.
It happens very rarely. When it does, I send it out in good time. I mean, I don't do it right away.
Everything I believe in, you don't.
No, but I don't think it's
because they're
done
breaking whether it's malicious or not.
Yeah, but
they're breaking a barrier.
I know, but you Google it, it's there, so it's more of an online problem.
Yeah, but you don't reward it.
Yeah, I'm with Michael.
No, I'm with you too. I can't throw it out.
You feel too bad.
No, I don't feel bad at all. Actually, I set it on fire too.
The weirdest thing though about Michael is here's what I find here's what I find puzzling about him. He's so scared of anything that could shorten his life. Health stuff freaks him out all the time. We talk about all the time. Someone dies at 94. What do you think, Michael? Would you take it? I don't know. I can make 99. He wants to live every minute on this planet that he could, right, Don?
Yes.
But at the same time, he also restricts himself from so many things that would be enjoyable about spending time on Earth.
I enjoy my time on Earth.
But you spend all of it being worried.
It doesn't matter. I worry because I don't want it to
getting more
end.
time.
I don't want it to end.
Yeah, but the people that worry the most are then the ones that are the first to go.
Well, I don't know about that. Michael's already proved that wrong.
Why? I'm 62. I haven't lived a long life yet.
No, but you're not the first to go.
No, but you know what I mean. Just live it, man. You think you're enjoying it. If you had a chance to redo it, you'd be like,
nah,
wow,
you know what?
I could have done a much
Peter,
better job.
I stand corrected. You're right. I'm going to go and enjoy. Next time Vicki Lawrence is in town, I'm going to go see her because Don knows how to live. I don't. If Vicki Lawrence does Mama's Family in Paramus, I'm going.
I mean, why does he always go to the same old tired way? How about when I went to see Alice Cooper in Ministry over in Long Island?
You know what? I'll do that too.
Well, because you don't like it. You don't
Here's
know
what
it.
I'm going to do. I'm going to go see Alice Cooper and whatever metal band you like, and I'm going to bring along cookies that strangers cook for me, and I'll just sit there and eat them.
But he makes it seem like, Alice Cooper, Rob Zombie. Well, that's a different experience than going to see what he Mama's Family. I'm versatile. I can do different things.
I think the point that Don's trying to make it. Well, you know what, Michael? We should do it then.
Yeah, why don't we do that? We'll be back with that in just a moment. These two guys, they joke that people say, "Well, they really do hate me." It's amazing we've lasted this long, and we'll last another 22 minutes right here on Yes at 98.7 ESPN.
Hey, Joe. 5 old diesel, fountain pop, lunch. Hey, buddy, you all right? Stupid old work boots, clunky as bricks. You ought to get you some Brunt boots. Comfortable, lightweight, durable, and waterproof. You want to try them? They're just comfortable sneakers. Yeah, they are. I'll give them back. Hey! Who stole your boots?
Try any of Brunt's gear on the job for 30 days risk-free.
So, you need a suit. A tux even? Maybe you got invited to a fancy party, or you're someone's plus one, and the last time you resorted to a warehouse, you didn't like the way you looked. This time, get a better suit from the Black Tux, and we'll deliver it with time to spare. Try it on. If the fit isn't right, we'll replace it right away, for free. And on the big day, you'll look as great as you feel. With the Black Tux, it's easy to look your best for every occasion. TheBlackTux.com. Formal wear for the moment.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
Restore and protect these freedoms for us and for the future. We are the American Civil Liberties Union, and we are fighting in every state, every day to defend your rights and the rights of all people.
We have got to be here. We've got to be strong to protect those rights.
For over 100 years, the ACLU has fought for everyone to have a voice and equal justice, and we will never stop. Because we, the people, means all of us. To learn more about defending our democracy, go to myaclu.org today.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
We all smoked in those days. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now.
It's easy to stay safe online. Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
You are watching Yes.
CNN. Ray Rowe.
On TV.
Start off by saying good evening to Michael.
It's really a child's crack den.
Good evening to Michael.
If he's not slurping, we're not slurping.
And to Don.
I dated a girl one time.
And
wait a minute, that's too taken out of context. I protest.
And to Don.
You're already submoron. Can you be worse? Can you look dumber?
And to Don and Michael.
I actually enjoyed it.
You would.
What do you mean you would?
To Don again.
I can't explain it, but I kind of have a thing for Kerry Mulligan. And how about Michael's response?
And to my,
I don't know why either.
He said, I don't know why either.
No, she's a very attractive woman.
So what point were you trying to make?
Well, why? I mean, I know some of the women that you look at as ideal. They're not Mulligan. I mean, they don't look like Mulligan. Mulligan's very pretty, but it's not your type. I mean, you're more of a Salma Hayek guy.
I'm the biggest Salma Hayek guy in the business. Let me say good evening to myself.
Do it.
As I've gotten older, I want it more and more well. And to myself, I need it to be perfect. I don't want to be sitting there chewing your raw meat.
That's got legs.
Nah, it would have more legs if you just got the last part.
What do you mean?
Chewing raw meat.
Oh.
That would be
I need
better.
it to be perfect. I don't want to be sitting there chewing your raw meat. Yeah, I think you just start with I don't.
Chewing your raw meat.
No, I think I don't. I don't want to be sitting there chewing.
I like it when it's, I was taken out of context. Why can't you?
Well, I think, Don, context or not, this isn't a totally flattering drop. Let me say good evening to myself. I had a period of wanting it like bloody.
What a show.
And lastly to myself. Judy, I want the cookies. Yeah. Judy, disrespected by Michael on the show.
Judy.
I don't want to be sitting there chewing your raw meat. Yep, I think it works. I think it plays. A lot of people on the internet, on the social media is done in absolute shock over Michael paying for ads in Netflix. A lot of shock and awe. But some people pointed out, someone did say it's only 2 30-second ads per show.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's it.
It's not a lot.
You know who has more ads? Peacock. It'll stop right in the middle of a.
I don't like you going to Peacock. I don't like it one bit.
Well, Peacock is the one that had the Giamatti vehicle on it.
The what vehicle?
The Giamatti vehicle.
The Paul Giamatti vehicle?
Holdovers, I think it's called.
Peacock, but Peacock's such a great. I mean, like $4.99. Now, someone sent an interesting tweet earlier, which I thought was very funny about.
We'll judge.
Well, they're so. This person said that he's so disgusted. Oh, here he said, "Kay paying for Netflix with ads is worrisome. I can't do it. I actually just canceled my Netflix because they keep raising the prices for no good reason. $23 is too much for a streaming service. But Don, I respect this. They're all out.
See, but I don't respect it. So he's going to rob himself of Netflix because he doesn't want to sit through 2 30-second ads because that would be just a $12 a month commitment. That's foolishness.
Is it now 12 for with ads?
Yeah, I think so. Also, I have another question because you know everything, Peter. So my 6-month Sirius ad, my Sirius subscription that when you buy a car, it just ended. So I re-up because I love Sirius, and I particularly like to be in a car and listen to Howard. And I re-up for the top price, and Howard's not on. I can't even go to channel 100.
Well, there's something wrong.
I would think, right?
What did you pay? The top price there has gotten incredibly expensive.
Well, the deal that I got was $5 a month for the first 12 months, and then after that, $20 a month.
So you're saying right now you should be in the $5 a month part.
But it's supposed to be the top.
And they messed up then. You got to call someone.
So, you got to make a phone call, Michael. You can't. We just wish it to happen. Sometimes you got to make a call.
They obviously did something wrong.
Can I call up Delabate? You think he'd help?
He won't help you.
I think that's below his pay grade.
Robin would be more help, I think.
Yeah. Fred would know.
Fred does the sounds. He could.
Fred might be the reason.
It's
not working.
You know, I paid for the re-up, too, and I realized since I paid for the re-up, I really have not listened very much.
Because Nancy handles the money, I don't know any of these things.
You know what? I used to make fun of you for this. I think your ignorance is blissful.
It is.
Because the things I worry about, with all the bills and everything, you don't have those worries.
No idea.
Michael, you're in on every bill?
No, but I know. Like, the only thing that I pay is the mortgage and the car stuff. And Jody takes care of every other thing, but I always say, well, what's the electric this week? And she'll tell me. And it just, my father would, like, his head would explode. I mean, our electric bill for a month is $1,400. A month.
I don't know what mine is.
I'll tell you what, I live in a New York apartment. I have no idea. But you want?
I can find out. I'll text Nancy and get an answer for you.
But think about what make Michael the sickest. He won't even understand what I'm talking about. I don't look at those bills. Like, they just auto pay. I don't look. I know they're going to be bad. You look every month. You go, hey.
No. Jody has a lot of them on auto pay. But I always say, well, what's the electric this week?
Let's take a look. Let's dive in.
And she'll go,
it's smart. You should.
She always goes, you don't want to know. And I go, I asked. I want to know. And then she'll say $1,400. And I go, do people? I've turned into my dad. Do people shut the lights in this house?
Well, you have to. I agree with that. But here's the thing. I talked about the price gouging happening earlier. It's happening with all these companies, too. I heard people's car insurances are just going up by insane amounts. And what choice do you have?
Not me. Geico is great. Been with them for 40 years.
Before they were doing commercials, before they get
right.
Are they paying you right now?
No.
No. This is something he's been on for a long time.
That's the only car insurance I've ever had. Never disappointed
me. I didn't even know it existed.
But humor me. I had Geico for a long time. Mm-hmm. I no longer do. I had no problem with them. What happened was when at some point I didn't have a car for a while.
Yeah, why do you need insurance?
Yeah, but then it messed me up when I tried to get back on insurance.
Oh.
Even though I hadn't done anything except get divorced and didn't have a car.
There you go.
So I was just roaming these streets.
They frown upon people that get divorced.
I guess so. I was vaping. I'm on the subway.
People saw you on the show.
Yeah, that's right.
You're a mess.
But not on the subway. And when I tried to go back to Geico, it had gone up, so I ended up going somewhere else. And now I'm with a smaller company, right? One of those more private insurance companies that handles my house, my car, all that stuff. But why, Michael, if Geico is not currently a sponsor, and God bless them, why are you so high on them?
Because any claim I have ever put in, no fight, no fuss, no muss. It's so easy. They're really great.
Have you ever had anything really challenging?
Yeah. And it's never, ever, ever a problem.
You know what, Tom? I'm sensing Michael has a connection to Geico.
I'm telling you, I would think the same thing, but I know the history.
That's been my car insurance since I was 17 years old when I got my license. And now I'm 62. I'll be 53 next week, and I still have it. Can I tell you one thing, Peter? This might unnerve you.
A lot has unnerved me
I'm
today.
looking at the screen, and I can honestly say you have never, ever in your life looked better than us.
That doesn't even make sense. It's got to be the tan.
It's definitely the tan. You got a little pit bull look to you. It's delightful.
I'm going to lose this tan.
And the beard looks great.
I'm gonna have to start fake tanning, guys.
I can see that.
I'm just being honest. I'm not here to lie to you about it. Probably going to do Botox the next couple years too.
Well, don't do that.
No, I think I have to.
So you can walk around perpetually surprised.
Well, no, it's not. I'm not gonna. No, I hate that. Even when people have no reaction whatsoever. I just can't afford more wrinkling here.
Tell me one thing. Here's what I want you to think about before you do something dumb like that.
By the way, just so everyone knows, I'm not getting a Brazilian butt lift. It's not that big a deal. Botox, you're done in 5 seconds.
Tell me anybody who's had facial work that you don't look at them and go, that's not normal.
Facial work or Botox?
Well, what are you getting the Botox in your butt? You're getting it in your forehead.
There are tons of people who are getting Botox and you have no idea.
Yeah, well, not in Hollywood. They all look like ghouls.
No, you're talking about different things. This is you're talking about things that go beyond Botox.
So what if you have lines in your head? What's wrong with you?
But Botox, you put in a little shot, it's just a thing, and then it goes away over time, and you either get it again or you don't. Yeah. You're talking about people who get fillers and their lips done and their cheeks done. There's tons of levels to doing things to your face.
I don't want to insult any actor or actress that's out there, but
I feel like you're about to.
No, I won't. I mean, you look at them, and it's pathetic. I mean, do they think that they look normal?
Well, but there are some that look great, though. Are you speaking about your beloved Jennifer?
No, she looks terrific, but
she's done tons. But she's going and going.
But my wife, whenever I say this to her, she said, "But you don't know how they look if they let themselves age."
That part, and also some of the ones that you think are great and are not doing work are doing work too. They're just doing less of it and better work.
Well, why would you get bad work done on your face? That's your calling card.
You want to know the truth, and this is not where anyone expected ENN to go, but this is why we do the show we do.
That's right.
I truly think what happens is people get addicted. They see the change in the mirror. It's like people with tattoos.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
They get so high off that new look, and then once the look fades, they're like, I need more. And before you know it, you have people whose lips look absolutely bonkers, and you're going, what happened to this beautiful person? They look like a complete
Remember when Joe Buck, in his book, said he got addicted to the hair replacement?
Oh, yeah, Joe, exactly. Yeah. We should ask him about that next time.
Yeah, it's a good thing to bring up.
Well, he brought up his book.
Yeah, but that's past now.
But I appreciate this. All started with you complimenting my tan. I appreciate it. Brazil was really good to me. I'll tell you one thing, though. As nice as my tan was not the best looking person I saw in Brazil.
You were not the best looking person?
No.
Yeah, I would say you're not the best looking person in any place you go.
I could be the best looking person here.
No, I think Don's better looking.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
That was nice of you to say.
No, you never give me any love, but I want you to know how it feels.
It just defended you on the Geico allegation.
Because you had nowhere to go but defend me.
On the Geico allegation.
I didn't have
I don't know if it was an allegation. I just was trying to get an understanding of this undying loyalty to Geico. Because I find the insurance company relationship to be so irritating. We pay these people our entire life because we have to. A, it's the law. Right. We have to. And then B, if God forbid something happens, you want support. And then sometimes when it's time to get it, I'm glad Michael's experience has been that way with Geico. I know regardless of company, people have the experience of when they need their insurance, it ends up being like, seriously, I paid for this my whole life and now I'm struggling to get money from you?
When I paid my insurance, because I got a lot of accidents when I first got my driver's license, so it was like through the roof.
Were you always stoned when you were driving?
Never. Come on, that's
again,
a serious allegation.
Again, you defend him.
Listen, I'm going to be me, okay? So I was just so disgusted.
But why would you get into so many accidents? I don't understand.
Well, there wasn't like so many. It was like 2 or 3. One was I took a turn during the rain and I hydroplaned. All right, it happens. And so what I would do, it wasn't a good idea, but on the memo, I would write choke on it. I would just be disgusted with how much I was paying. So I would write nasty notes in the memo. They still cashed it, those animals.
Please go on the ENN, please.
Real quick, Greek has
there anything left?
Greek has important information for us. A state law went into effect on August 1st that requires insurers to add a new line of coverage, supplemental spousal liability insurance for all drivers, even those who are unmarried or buying coverage for a business. You have to call to opt out.
Yeah, they make it very hard to quit. I had girlfriends like that.
Yeah, I can't quit you, Michael.
No.
Let's hear Bart had a lot of things today.
Bart
today
who?
What's Bart Scott?
I thought you meant Bartolo Colon.
Bart was on. Why would I be talking about Bart Colon?
And would you just say Bart?
Yeah, not Simpson, not Colon. It's Bart
Right.
Scott. And Bart was on Get Up, and I was asked, do the Cowboys have the best QB in the NFC?
No, I don't think they have the best quarterback. No? I think they have the best quarterback with the best team.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford, by far, in my opinion, is the best quarterback.
Matthew Stafford, by far, is the best quarterback.
Matthew Stafford's proven that he has what it takes to win in the playoffs. Like, you talk about a team playing with house money. The scariest team in his playoffs from that side, to me, is Matthew Stafford, because they can run the football and they can play defense. They have a superstar that when you need a play, they can get a play. And that's a guy like Aaron Donald. When you need a stop, he's a guy that can wreck a game. And right now, you talk about Cooper Kupp, you talk about Puka Nacua. They can put up points with the best of them. Just ask the Baltimore Ravens. Nobody want to see them. So when you think about it, Tampa will play the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a much easier matchup. If the Rams go to Dallas, that could be upset.
That is an interesting. Rams and Dallas is fascinating, right? You wouldn't normally think so, but given the Cowboys' history in the playoffs, and a Rams team that is not special, but Don, they generally play to their competition.
They do. You saw it against the Giants, right? And we had Dan Orlovsky on. He said it. He commented on it this past week, and he said it to us when you guys were on vacation, when I was on with Dan, that he thinks that's the one team that can go to San Francisco and beat the Niners. And yet, the Giants almost beat him. Should have beat him.
Very weird.
But I'm not mad at his take. The only thing is that the Cowboy fans will freak out. Dak's had a better year. I think he's underrating Dak's performance this year, but I can't get mad at his take that Dak hasn't been able to win the big one.
By the way, props to the Rams for bouncing back.
And McVay said yesterday he's coming back next year because he was thinking about quitting before this season.
Which was so weird.
Because you know what? He can make about $15 million on TV.
And I'm going to say it what I've said again. Why?
Why? Exactly why?
Like, I don't understand how
handsome guy
fall.
Speaks well.
So, for calling football games, do I need him to handsome?
But again, just go through the Tony Romo conversation again. Like, who's watching or not watching because he's on the call?
It's the
honestly.
We've had this conversation. There's got to be something there. They're not paying them for nothing.
The Rams aren't a national team anymore. I know he won a Super Bowl, but is like anybody clamoring to see him? I saw the thing with Jason Garrett. Giant fans hate him. Cowboy fans hate him. NBC puts him on. Why?
And by the
he's
way,
okay, but like you can't. You got to pay all this money to these guys. It's like it's a coup to get them.
By the way, I would argue that there's no more valuable a voice to have calling your games than Joe Buck. And Joe Buck has gotten outpaid many times by the random athletes they all fall in love with.
Not anymore.
Peter, Chuck in the booth.
But Peter,
no,
he
because
just said
because of the deal with ESPN and Monday Night Football.
But here's what it comes down to: good, bad, and different. Is that you're going to pay him more money to be on TV than he can make as a coach. He's brilliant as a coach. He's won a Super Bowl. He can change the game. He can change franchises' directions. That's worth something to me. But they'll pay him more to be on television, and he'll have zero impact on the number of people that are watching the game. Zero. If he called in sick to the game he was supposed to do, if he didn't show up to the halftime show, it would not affect the number. That's no insult to him. Football's a machine, yet they'll pay more money for him to do that and have zero effect on the broadcast than pay him to be a coach in football, which would have a tremendous impact to that franchise. It makes no sense to me.
I would love to get an executive to explain to us where the value is, because it is really hard for. I mean, I watch football every week, and I have to watch my putrid Commanders get whatever yo-yo with bless you, Don. Get whatever yo-yo team gets assigned to a bad Commanders game it never affects my thoughts on it.
I don't think there's any effect on football because people are watching football no matter what. I think that your announcers really matter in baseball.
Well, you shouldn't have said that. You should have let us say that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Let me say it again. You pipe down for a second. I got to tell you, Don, in my humble opinion, Football, it makes no difference. Everyone's watching no matter what.
Right.
You know where it matters? It's baseball. Baseball, it matters.
I could see Bernie Williams affecting his ratings, honestly, because of the icon that he is.
Well, the job of guys calling baseball games, you guys have to entertain us beyond the game. It's a long, even as much as the pace is picked up, it's a long broadcast with dead time. It's local. There are stories it's just a different animal.
Now, the only thing I heard from people, and maybe Michael can debunk this if he wants, is that the reason Romo makes so much money is because it's off the air, where you're schmoozing.
Well,
clients.
that's why they give him $35 million of Brady.
Go golfing with him, and maybe they'll buy into CBS's broadcast because maybe they're sick Cowboy fans and want to hang out with Tony Romo. That might be something. All right, then I
do
can't
you
tell
believe,
you
Don,
the monetary
that
gain
CBS has buyer's remorse? Because I think that when they gave him the money, he was it. I don't know if he's it anymore.
Well, the buyer's remorse, I think, would come from, if we gave him 10 instead of 18, that's $8 million more we'd have in our pocket. Because, again, he's not affecting the rating.
But another network would have stolen him. Obviously, they had a bid against somebody.
Yeah, but then there'd be somebody else to get. And again, I think he does a very good job, but I don't understand why he has to be the highest paid. I'm going to be $18 million to work, 20 games? It just seems odd to me. No one is watching that game or not watching that game based on who the announcer is. They get the best game available to CBS.
It's such a super strange thing for any of us to understand. Dak Prescott. Your Cowboys mindset facing the big commies this weekend. Cowboys still need to win this game, guys.
We've got one game right here to go win this division, have a 2 seed, and that makes it a playoff game. That makes it a game, obviously, with a lot of implication. But another game that this team needs that will just help us, obviously, sets us up in the position for the playoffs, but also for us to have that playoff mindset as we've had for the last couple of weeks or so heading into the actual playoff. Therefore, you just go out there and play the game that we know we can play on the road, which will be important.
I hate the Cowboys, but I like him. Am I wrong to feel that way?
I've never hated Dak. I had times when I thought he was underwhelming.
Oh, yeah.
I had times when I thought he wasn't going to be the dude.
But I want him to do well.
You know what? I wouldn't mind him shutting people up and having a good play.
But you just said that you're going to, earlier in the show, you're going to take the Commanders with the 13.5.
I said if Jacoby Brissett gets to start, I'd consider
not the love of your life? Not the love of your life, Sam Howell.
You know what? I'm not playing this game with you. All right? That is going to do it for ENN on this very chilly Thursday evening.
That's a wrap on the show for today. Coming up next, a brand new edition of Yankees Hot Stove. For all of us here on the Michael K. Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock for Football Friday.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
The next Mega Millions drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
So, you need a suit, a tux even? Maybe you got invited to a fancy party, or you're someone's +1, and the last time you resorted to a warehouse, you didn't like the way you looked. This time, get a better suit from the Black Tux, and we'll deliver it with time to spare. Try it on. If the fit isn't right, we'll replace it right away, for free. And on the big day, you'll look as great as you feel. With the Black Tux, it's easy to look your best for every occasion. TheBlackTux.com. Formal wear for the moment.
Jeff has a problem. It started when he ordered his Brunt work boots. He's beating them up 14 hours a day, going on about how they're comfortable as sneakers, but he never takes them off. At my place, with his buddies, at night. I caught him in the shower, and he just goes, "What? They're waterproof." I don't know if we're gonna make it through the 30-day risk-free trial.
Of course they will, babe. They're super durable.
I'm not talking about the boots, Jeff.
Brunt, the tools you wear. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
At Domino's, we're on a mission to make sure our customers can always get hot pizza, even when the weather is not so hot. That's why we're plowing unplowed roads across the country, like this road, and this road, and Judy's road. Thanks. You're welcome, Judy. Nominate your town for plowing assistance at plowingforpizza.com so you can carry out 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for $6.99 each from Domino's, no matter the weather.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay, and how fast you can get started.
Hungry Root is here. I'm gonna open the box, and my refrigerator is packed.
Everything you've seen me do was made possible by what you don't see. We all have the strength to see what's possible. It's up to us to unlock it. Tonal, be your strongest.
Yo, you think Dallas's Power 4 gonna drop 30 tomorrow?
Why you tripping?
Did you see his mom made a post about going to the game?
What? Hold up. His mama gonna be there?
He's been averaging like 34 points a game when she's there.
At least 40 when she be on that Jumbotron.
He don't like to let his mama down.
Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Cash in on your sports fandom with Prize Picks.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Happy 2024, everyone. We're a little over a month away from the beginning of spring training when Juan Soto will join his new teammates. The lineup set to entertain crowds in the Bronx has been upgraded from last season. But what about Aaron Boone's rotation? Two-time Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell's looking for a home in free agency. There's also Jordan Montgomery, who grew up in pinstripes and just became a world champion. The rumor mill features Brewers ace Corbin Burns. He owns a Cy Young himself. So does Shane Bieber, another possibility on the trade market if Cleveland decides to deal him. We're going to talk about those options, plus Jack Curry unveils his Hall of Fame ballot, and Meredith Marakovich talks with prospect Will Warren. Let's get cooking. Yankees Hot Stove starts right now. Everybody, it is great to have you with us on a brand new edition of Yankees Hot Stove here on Yes and on the Yes app. Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, Michael K with you. When we last left you just before the holiday break, the Yankees were heavy in pursuit of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. They made a really sizable offer. Ultimately, maybe with an assist from Shohei Ohtani and all his deferred money, the Dodgers land him.
They did, Bob. Shortly after we got off the air that night, Yamamoto ends up deciding to go to the Dodgers. When you look at the teams that were involved, it was the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Mets. In the negotiating process, they asked all three teams to go to $300 million. They did. Then they asked for another offer. The Dodgers and the Mets both went to $325. The Yankees stayed at $300 million at that point. They were content with that offer. They thought this could be a perfect marriage with themselves and Yamamoto. They actually offered the highest average annual value in their offer to him. The Dodger deal was for 12 years. He takes that offer. He talked about Ohtani being a factor. But, Michael, as we read the tea leaves and go back and think about these negotiations, I think Yamamoto was always pushing himself toward the Dodgers.
I think that he probably engaged the Mets and the Yankees to drive the Dodger price up. Also, the Yankees not only had the higher average annual value, they also had an opt-out after 5 years. With the Dodgers, it's 6 years. What surprised me, so many things surprised me about this pursuit, but we've always heard, and again, we try to read the tea leaves. I don't think that we really know what we're looking at, that Japanese players don't want to be on a team with another big-time Japanese player and share the spotlight. Well, you didn't just go with another Japanese player. You went with the biggest star in the world. And as big as Yamamoto is, he's not going to be bigger than Ohtani. That surprised me. Also, the fact that Ohtani took $2 million a year and deferred $68 million for each year after the contract's over, that allowed the Dodgers to get Glasnow and to get Yamamoto. So a lot of surprising aspects.
And Yamamoto thanked Ohtani during his press conference for what Michael just referenced, all of that deferred money, because he understood what that meant. Interestingly, he said even if Ohtani had not signed with the Dodgers, he still thinks he would have ended up being a Dodger. So the Dodgers have spent more than $1 billion in this offseason. When you talk about Ohtani and you talk about Yamamoto and then, of course, the extension with Glasnow. So when you're the Yankees, he was your plan A. He was the pitcher you desperately wanted. They had a scout at every one of his Japanese league starts. So you've got to catch your breath, and you have to figure out in what direction you move next. Even the Soto trade, Michael, when we talk about that has roots back to July, and the Yankees finally were able to make that deal. They were so locked in on Yamamoto that now you have to decide what's your next move.
I'll tell you what, the money throughout baseball is just shocking to me when you see a guy like Frankie Montas get $16 million, and then a guy like Severino who couldn't stay healthy with the Yankees, although he's got great stuff. He got $13 million from the Mets. But the thing that jumped out at me, we find this out today as some specifics of Yamamoto's contract has come up. The guy's making about $28.5 million a year for 12 years, and he asked to have 4 round-trip tickets from Japan each year. I mean, mind-boggling to even to ask for it and then to actually get it. I remember something, George Steinbrenner was once negotiating with a big-time free agent. I don't remember who it was, and the guy said, well, I want a bonus for winning the Cy Young or the MVP, and Steinbrenner said, I'm paying you all this money to do that. I think I'm not giving you a bonus. But they gave him 4 round-trip tickets. At $28.5 million, I think he could have afforded it.
He also gets a suite on the road. He also gets his own interpreter, handpicked, his own trainer. So,
well, Jack has that on his deal.
He does too.
Yeah.
But it's those little
suite or the interpreter.
The interpreter.
Oh, okay.
But it's those little perks that tip it over the edge. And I go back to what you said about, does one Japanese player necessarily want to be on the team with another, especially the biggest star on the planet? The fact that they played in the World Baseball Classic together, you wonder if that skewed Yamamoto to say, I kind of like this setup. I kind of like the way things went down with Ohtani.
Michael talked about this a couple seconds ago about Japanese players having another Japanese player as a teammate. The one thing I consistently said on our shows throughout the offseason is we were trying to get inside the mind of a guy that we didn't know. We had never spoken to him. We had never interviewed him. So you're thinking, well, wouldn't he rather be a star elsewhere? The Yankees offered him the biggest stage, you could say, in the world. Come to New York. And I know that L.A. isn't Dubuque, but they were saying, come to New York. They've won the most championships. Their legacy is what it is. They're trying to win another championship since they haven't had one since '09. But as we were trying to figure out who he was, Michael, being with Ohtani was fine for him. He doesn't mind potentially being being the caddy to Ohtani, because when Ohtani can pitch in 25, he's the guy that is going to be ahead of Yamamoto in the rotation, I believe.
Well, one thing that I would just advise all baseball fans to really dial back, everybody's just giving the championship to the Dodgers. Now, I'd be shocked if the Dodgers don't make the playoffs, but in a short series, anything could happen. The Angels had Ohtani all these years. They didn't even make the playoffs, so they have put together an impressive array of talent. I get that, and they are going to make the playoffs, but in a short series, you could get knocked off in a second. This does not guarantee the Dodgers anything other than, to me, making the playoffs.
All right, let's spin it ahead, guys, to what's ahead.
Connected with would-be Snell and Montgomery from the graphic that we just showed. We all know their history with Montgomery. They ended up trading him to St. Louis because they felt they needed an upgrade in the outfield defensively with Bader. Bader had a great postseason. He was curtailed by injuries. Montgomery goes on to pitch well for the Cardinals, get traded to Texas, and win a World Series. I do think that a reunion there is possible. And talking to Yankee officials, I know that they like Montgomery very much. Snell is also a very interesting pitcher. Here we're going to take a little look at Monty here, and I think the thing that stands out about him, 6'6", lefty, throws over the top, and that helps make him a very difficult pitcher in which to pick up pitches. You can see some of the swings that he gets there. It's what makes him who he is. I find him to be very interesting. Michael Snell's very interesting. He's got the 2 Cy Youngs, but he bracketed both of those Cy Youngs with 4 years where he was hurt a lot, never pitching more than 130 innings in 8 of those 4 seasons.
Well, it comes out today that, you know, Snell wouldn't mind playing for the Yankees. Well, Snell is represented by Scott Boras, who's one of the smartest people in the game, and it only behooves Snell to be involved and have the Yankee name alongside of him, because that's going to drive up the price. Now, Snell's a good pitcher. He proved this during the season as well with the Cy Young Award, but he's a 5-inning guy, and you're going to have to pay him big-time money. What is that what you want to go? Again, I don't know if the Yankees are going after him as well. It just seems to me that Boras put out into the ether that the Yankees are involved. Whether that's true or not, I'm not quite certain. But of all those pitchers involved, I would be a little wary of Snell just because of the 5-inning aspect. When I look at all the pitchers in Major League Baseball that make big money, it's one of the great conundrums to me. I don't understand it. Everybody pays starters all this money, and they don't allow them to pitch into the 7th inning. There's one stud out there, and the Yankees have him under their control. Garrett Cole is a legitimate ace of a staff. If I'm going to pay somebody $30 million a year, I want to be sure he's going to pitch in the 7th or 8th inning.
Yeah, let me ask you guys this, too. Let's say they did sign a Snell, a Montgomery, maybe Imanaga. That's 3 lefties in the rotation. Do you like that? Does it bother you? How do you feel about that?
Oh, I would be in favor of that if those 3 lefties produce to the level that you want them to produce. You look at the way Yankee Stadium is configured, and you'd rather have an opposing lineup load up on right-handed batters and not take advantage of that porch in right field. So if you can make that happen and you can get production out of all those pitchers, very important. I know we're talking about who might be added, but those 2 guys, Bob, that you referenced there, Rodon and Cortez, the Yankees absolutely need them to be so much better next season.
If they don't step forward and get closer to their best seasons, and you know, with Cortez, it was a couple of years ago, Rodon, the same thing a couple of years ago, I don't think the Yankees could be finished pitching-wise. They can't go into the season with huge question marks like that. They have to get a starter, maybe even 2, because rolling the dice on Cortez, who had a shoulder issue, we don't know if it was resolved. Right now he feels fine, but when he's pitching in a big league game, is that going to happen again? And then Rodon, I believe in Rodon. I'm one of the few people who thinks that he could bounce back. This guy's a very talented guy. It didn't just go away. The fact that he missed the first half of the season, I think, set him back. I like the chances with him, but again, both of those guys are chances. They're not sure things. The Yankees have a sure thing in Cole. After that, cross your fingers.
And then Michael brings up the guys who have question marks besides their name. Rightfully, this is why they've got to get pitching, because as you get deeper into that rotation, it's not fair to ask at the beginning of the season for someone like Heel or Warren, who Meredith will interview later in the show, or Clayton Beater to suddenly be your number 5. You'd rather have those guys be your 6, 7, and 8, the way that the Yankees were able to do that last year with Brito and Vasquez. They have to add pitching. I believe that they will. Brian Cashman said that at the outset of the offseason. They're not just going to sit back and not add arms.
Well, Cash, as we know, always casts a wide net. So beyond free agents, there are possible trades out there. Dylan Cease with the White Sox supposedly on the block. Will Milwaukee trade Corbin Burns with 1 year of control? Cleveland has Shane Bieber. And then the Marlins have been dangling Jesus Luzardo out there. But that's going to cost you to young player capital, and the Yankees have already spent some of that, Michael.
Well, if you ask me, okay, this is Walmart, I could choose whichever aisle. I'd go with Burns and Luzardo. Those are the guys that I would like to get. But again, because they're not free agents, you are going to have to invest capital. And the Yankees have traded away a lot of capital already in the Soto deal. Then they had 2 guys lost in the Rule 5 draft. So their depth in the minor league is going to be tested now. Guys that maybe you haven't heard about are going to be big. And those guys that might be big for you this year, they might have to go in a trade like that. So they've got a lot of decisions to make. They really do.
Michael, my Fordham buddy and I are in agreement, Bob. Burns would be the pitcher that I would absolutely want to add, but I don't think it's going to be an easy needle to thread, even though he only has 1 year left. We're talking about an ace. You see what his numbers were last year, but the stuff is filthy. He is someone you would get, and I would say he would rival Rodon to be your number 2 if you were able to add him. But the Brewers are not just going to say, yeah, here, take our ace. They're going to want some solid young players. They're going to want top 100 prospect-type players, and that's why I think this offseason, which right now we could call has been somewhat of a tepid offseason recently, there's a lot of talented players still out there. I think the Yankees are trying to figure out the machinations of whether it's going to be a trade or a free agent.
Now, they did sign Poteet today, and I was talking to a major league executive today and said the Yankees really did their homework on this guy. This guy could actually make a difference for them. He's a guy that you should watch.
And he's on the 40-man, correct? So definitely a viable candidate. All right, got to take a break. Jason Dominguez took advantage of his opportunity last season and made a big mark in the Bronx during a short amount of time. We're going to focus on Dominguez when Yankees Hot Stove comes back after a quick break.
I needed something in the shop, comfortable.
I wear Brunt boots, as you see, got them on my feet right now. Keeps you warm, it keeps you dry, triple layered comfort.
Comfortable in the morning, comfortable in the afternoon. These feel like kind of like sneakers.
They're waterproof, durable. Been wearing them for over a year now. They're absolutely amazing.
This is the only shoe I wear in here now.
Brown boots are cool.
Wearing Brunt boots, my feet, my back, and my legs don't hurt at the end of the day.
Go online and try any of our gear on the job for 30 days, risk-free.
Listen, we get that ordering a suit online can seem a little risky. That's why we have a home try-on program. Go to theblacktux.com/try. With so many good options, it might be hard to choose. We'll ship your selection to you to try out for 48 hours on us. When it arrives, put it on and make sure every detail's perfect. Once your 2 days are up, pack it back in the box, attach the free shipping label, and send it back to us. And when you're ready to rent for real, just head back to the Black Tux and make your order official.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
So here's the Martian. Welcome to the big leagues. See ya. A home run for Dominguez. The Martian's done it again.
Dominguez just hammers this ball.
Yankees fans were excited last season when the Martian landed and Jason Dominguez made his presence felt before he was lost to Tommy John surgery. But it may not be too long before he is back in action. Last month, Aaron Boone said he is, quote, optimistic it'll be sooner rather than later for the talented youngster. That all depends on the rehab process, where he's at physically. He is just 21 years old. Those young players tend to heal, but you got to heal correctly, Michael.
That comment by Boone really surprised me. I mean, you would think it usually takes a year for a position player maybe a little bit less, but for him to be a quote-unquote regular player in spring training, that means that he could, if he's a regular player down in Tampa, he could break camp with them and be in their outfield. I'm really, really surprised. And, you know, if you're an outfielder, too, it's not like you're moving to first base like what the Phillies did with Harper. You have to throw. You have to make big-time throws. So if he's ready by spring training, that would be a stunner.
When the injury first occurred and they talked about his recuperation, they tagged it as 9 to 10 months, which stretches into the summer. So as Michael said, I don't think anyone was anticipating that he was going to be a full-time player that soon. I think we have to get to spring training and see how things play out. He's going to be 21 years old. The Yankees are not rushing him. First of all, the Yankees never rush their players. They're always protective of their players. But you're talking about a kid who right here, first swing in the major leagues, he hits a home run off a future Hall of Famer in Verlander. They are going to make sure that he is 100% ready to go. I also wonder if Boone meant that he's going to be a player in terms as you'll see him in some spring training games. I don't think we're seeing him until sometime in the summer.
Maybe I'm too deep a dive into Boone's words. Said looks like a regular player. Maybe that means swinging the bat okay, coming off his rehab, but he's not going to be cutting loose throwing the ball. He might be tossing like a regular player. I'm not sure, Michael, that means come March and April, we're going to see him just getting after it in terms of being a full baseball player.
Again, all we could do is parse the words, and it just jumped out to me. Regular player means a guy that does everything, but if he could swing a bat, which is what Bryce Harper was able to do, well, Stanton is a complication. You can't, let's say Dominguez is good enough and has a great spring training like he did last year, and you can't DH him because even if Stanton is well above what he was last year, you're not running him in the outfield every single day.
Here's the other potential complication for me, at least. I would not even wave the carrot in front of Dominguez that you can come back as a hitter, as Ohtani is doing this year, as other players have done. I would tell him, you're 21, you're valuable to this organization, and when you are ready to play offense and defense, that's when you can come back. Because I think if you put it in his head that he can come back as a hitter only, I think that you might get a kid who is just a kid who rushes himself a little bit, and you don't want him to hurt himself more.
Well, here's the thing, too. If you're saying if he comes back May 1st or July 1st, let's say, Michael, are you hanging your hat on a 21-year-old kid changing your season? You have a lot of other players on that roster that should be doing that same thing and making an impact.
You know, I was thinking as Jack was talking, let's say that the injury never happened. Now, the Yankees would be built different. They might not have made the deals that they made, but let's say he's completely healthy in spring training. I don't think, and knowing Aaron Boone, I don't think he meant that he's completely healthy in spring training, but I will say this: he might not make the team. I mean, the way the team is constructed right now, you've got Soto, you've got Judge, you've got Grisham, and then you have Verdugo. Where are you going to play him? Again, he's 21 years old, and greatness does force its way in there. But at this point, even if he's 100% in spring training, and he's not going to be, he had the surgery at the end of September, but even if he was, he's not coming north, or in this case, west, with the team at the beginning of the year.
All right, guys, we got to take a break. Coming up, the Yankees used to see Chris Sale quite often, but he's been traded from Boston to Atlanta. Coming up next on Hot Stove, we'll talk about Sale and a few former Yanks who are also moving to new homes after landing deals in free agency.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
Hey, Joe.
5 on diesel, fountain pop, lunch. Hey, buddy, you all right? Stupid old work boots, clunky as bricks. You ought to get you some Brunt boots. Comfortable, lightweight, durable, and waterproof. You want to try them? There's comfortable sneakers. Yeah, they are. I'll give them back.
You stole your boots.
Try any of Brunt's gear on the job for 30 days risk-free.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Hello now. Checking out some Major League Baseball headlines, the Red Sox have shuffled their starting rotation, signing Lucas Giolito and trading Chris Sale to the Braves. Some former Yankees are also on the move. Frankie Montas, Michael mentioned that, signed with Cincinnati. Harrison Bader is reportedly joining the Mets, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa joins the Blue Jays, who have also re-signed Kevin Kiermaier. And when the Sale trade went down, it was a little curious to some people because the Red Sox need pitching, but they're just going in a different direction.
Right, they do have Giolito, but it surprised me a little because of what you just said, Bob. A team that was on the hunt for pitching decides to get rid of a pitcher with a great pedigree, although he's also been injured. When you dig a little deeper, I actually like this move from a Braves perspective. They shed Vaughn Grissom, a young prospect who was essentially blocked by Ozzie Albies, so he wasn't going to play. They get the Red Sox to pick up the money in Sale's contract, and they bring Chris Sale over to an environment where all they do is win and say, hey, be a part of this winning environment, rekindle some of what you have had in your career, and help them in October, because that's, of course, where a team like the Braves is eventually going to be judged.
The Braves are really operating at a level. I mean, they are going to get paid $1 million for Sale to pitch for free this year. I mean, they redid his contract, so he's going to make 16. They got $17 million from the Red Sox, so that was a good deal. The couple of deals that jumped out at me, Bader, all right? I was told by a couple of baseball people that I respect, he's going to have a hard time getting $5 million. He got 10.5. That's a great deal for Harrison. He's got to stay healthy, obviously. But even when he was healthy, he did not hit well for the Yankees. So the Mets are rolling the dice a little bit. What the Mets are thinking, we put him in center because we know that Harrison Bader can play center, and then you move Nimmo over to left, and they've been without a left fielder. The other one that jumps out at me is Montas. I mean, I wish I could pitch. I'm going to make Charlie pitch. The guy has not pitched essentially in 2 years, and he's getting $14 million. I thought that when the Yankees let him pitch that inning at the end of the year, there had to be a tacit arrangement that he was going to come back on a make-good, like give them something for the deal that. And then I can't blame the guy for taking $14 million, but Severino got 13. This guy gets 14. So when you look at the money that Yamamoto got, it's not that stunning because guys with no track record and injury histories are getting huge dollars.
The Yankees did have interest in Montas, but not at that number, to Michael's point. And I think from the Reds' perspective, here's what they're doing. They're saying sign him for 1 year. Hope that he has a year like what the Yankees had hoped he would have with them, and it's only 1 year, and even a team like Cincinnati could absorb the 1 year if he doesn't perform well.
Right, and by the way, you don't have to absorb it. If you can trade him at the trade deadline, somebody else thinks they can get value out of him, you've only paid about half the contract. Well, Hall of Fame talk is a highlight of the baseball offseason each year, and the class of 2024 will be announced later this month. Jack is going to show us his ballot when Yankees Hot Stove continues. Stick around.
You don't have to leave your living room to play the lottery. Just use the Jack Pocket app.
Hot! Okay, everyone, please silence your phones.
I won.
I won! I won! I never win anything, and I won today! We won! Yes! Dollar bills, y'all, I'm out!
To win anytime, anywhere, download the Jack Pocket app, officially licensed lottery courier service.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
The most important tool on any job site in America is the one you wear on your feet for 40 hours a week.
Wait, what?
My name is Eric Gerard. I started Brunt Workwear in my garage for my buddies in the trades. The modern construction worker has different needs than they did 100 years ago. That's why at Brunt, our gear is designed by workers for workers with premium technologies like triple layer comfort, slip and oil resistant soles, and a triple layer waterproofing system. Go online for free shipping and try any of our gear on the job for 30 days risk-free.
In addition to some big-name holdovers, the Hall of Fame ballot for the class of 2024 features a group of heavy hitters in year one of eligibility, including 3,000 Hit Club member Adrian Beltre. There's also three-time batting champion Joe Mauer, six-time All-Star Chase Utley, and one of the most beloved Mets of his era, seven-time All-Star David Wright. Jack has sent his ballot in. Is this your first public display of this ballot, by the way?
This is the first time we're revealing it publicly.
The big reveal. Now, I know one name that's on your ballot because you've told me this numerous times. You thought Adrian Beltre was a slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer, right?
3,166 hits, almost 500 home runs, an elite defender. Bob, I would actually like to hear the argument against him being a first ballot Hall of Famer. And there are some people who put their ballots out there who haven't voted for him, which I find shocking. But you're right. Beltre, absolutely on my ballot. He was one of the new names I added to my ballot. I had 5 holdovers in Beltran, Helton, Jones, Wagner, and Sheffield. Sheffield, of course, in his 10th year, so that's one we need to dig in on. And right in the middle of my ballot, Joe Mauer. 3 gold gloves, 3 batting titles as a catcher. He had over 2,100 hits. He won an MVP, retired at 35 because of concussion symptoms. But when I look at Joe Mauer, and I've had some heated debates with our head researcher, Jeff Quagliata, about this, Mauer's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
So Quags is a hater when it comes to Mauer?
No, I said we've had heated debates. He might not have picked him for the first ballot.
I look at Mauer and it's like a tale of two careers, because once he left behind the plate, when he had the 3 batting titles, he became an okay first baseman. He wasn't great. And I just go back to Mattingly. Why is Mattingly the one who is always the one that he just missed? I think Mauer's a Hall of Famer too, but I also think Mattingly is just because of the first 5-6 years of his career.
It's a great comp, and Mattingly, as solid a defender as Mauer was behind the plate, and then later became a better first baseman later in his career. Mattingly wins in the defense department because he was elite defensively. So it's a great argument, Michael, except as someone who has to fill out, let me find my ballot. It's in here somewhere. Anyway.
7, by the way, not
as someone
10,
who has to
right?
fill out this ballot, this guy should be in because that guy's in. That's a tough argument to win. It's an individual case. I take a lot of time looking over all of these names, and some guys are easy to pick and some guys aren't as easy.
One guy that you didn't pick, and I'm curious about it, and I'm not questioning, David Wright had an unbelievable beginning to his career. Then the spinal stenosis, he was not the same guy. But when he was a player, before he got hurt, he is a Hall of Fame level talent. Did you consider him?
I did. David Wright, Chase Utley, and Bobby Abreu were all delicate decisions for me. I ended up going no on all of them. It doesn't mean I'm always a no in the future, especially Abreu. You got to look at Abreu's numbers sometimes. I mean, OPS 870, 2,500 hits, almost 300 homers, almost 500 stolen bases. He was a guy who walked almost as much as he struck out, so I think he's somebody who deserves a lot more consideration. I fault myself and other people on the ballot, but since I brought up the walk strikeout thing, I want to talk about Sheffield because it's his final year on the ballot. And when you look at the tracker that is on social media because of not Mr. Tibbs, Sheffield's right there. He's right at around 75%. But guys, our researchers and our statisticians tell us that those numbers right there always go down. So I wonder what's going to happen with Sheffield. I came to him late on my ballot. I know why some people won't vote for him. The numbers are Hall of Fame numbers because of his connection with Barry Bonds. That's one of the reasons that he is held off. He worked out with Barry Bonds in the offseason. I would advise people to read an article that Bob Nightingale did in USA Today.
I read that.
Where Sheffield discusses his entire offseason with Bonds. They had a falling out. They didn't spend a lot of time together. I know there were some people who would say, well, saying that only happened one time is like saying you ate one potato chip. We covered Gary Sheffield. He was an honest dude. He was a blunt guy. He told you exactly how he felt. I hope that in his 10th year, he nudges across that 75% mark.
And he told Nightingale that he had a cyst in the back of his knee and he put the cream on it. And also, Victor Conte has come out and said that he did not buy any drugs from him. So it's kind of interesting. And I think if you look at his numbers are Hall of Fame numbers. They just are. And if you're not voting for him, then you are then persuaded against it because of him taking the cream. I also noticed that you didn't have Alex on the ballot. And it's kind of interesting. One thing that I don't like when the Hall of Fame voters say, well, you know what, it's a museum. Everybody has to be represented. Well, they're represented. It doesn't mean that they get a plaque. I think Alex is a really tough case. 696 home runs, but he was suspended for a year. It's hard to check that box.
Alex and Manny are really tough calls, as were Bonds and Clemens. I went 9 years without voting for Bonds and Clemens, and then in year 10, I gave them the vote because I thought if they get this unbelievable surge and they're at 74.7%, I would not sleep very well on my pillow at night thinking I was the guy who kept him out of the Hall of Fame. So I waited until year 10. I think that with Alex and Manny, you could see something similar happen.
You know, I don't have a vote because I only wrote for 7 years before I took the radio job. But my rule would be this. If you didn't fail a test and you weren't suspended, I'd have to vote for you. Now, Manny failed tests. Alex, got suspended. He didn't fail a test, but he did get suspended for a whole year. I think those are the guys that I would probably have to push to the side. But, Roger Clemens went to the top of the mountain and went to, had lawsuits and won them. And he said, I didn't do it. Now, you can believe him or not, but nobody ever suspended him. There's no smoking gun other than what Brian McNamee said. I think that's a tough one. It really is.
Yeah, with Bonds and Clemens, and we've talked about this a lot on the show, and everything Michael said is accurate, but I look at other players and say, okay, if you think there's another player who was suspected of steroids, who was his Brian McNamee? And that's part of the reason that they don't get the vote. And for Barry Bonds, who was his gentleman, and I'm blanking on the guy's name now, Greg, his trainer, who kept the entire ledger. Now I'm blanking on his name, but who was their person? Because we know that those guys had connections, and that's why I ended up going the route I did with them.
There's one other player on the ballot that I guess you could say it's the curious case of Carlos Beltran. The numbers are there to be a Hall of Famer. You've checked the box for him, but he's not there yet, though he is trending in a more positive direction.
It's clear that Carlos Beltran is being punished for his role in the sign-stealing scandal, and we worked with Carlos for a year at Yes, and I had some conversations with him about his role in all of that, and he has owned up to what he did during those times. But here's what I find curious. He's clearly being punished because to me, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But Cora came back and managed after a suspension. Hinch came back and managed after a suspension. All of the other players got immunity. So Carlos Beltran is the one guy who has to pay for all of the sins of everyone else. And when you have conversations with guys that you work with, sometimes you can't reveal everything publicly that they told you. But I very easily checked the box next to Carlos Beltran's name. And some of that is based on the conversations we had about his role.
I will tell you this. If he gets punished for his role in that cheating scandal, it's not cool. It's kind of disgraceful because his numbers scream out Hall of Fame. But you take a look. I mean, is Altuve not going to be a Hall of Famer? I mean, they didn't take down their World Series banner. They didn't do any of that stuff. Is Bregman going to be a Hall of Famer? I'm sorry. Carlos Beltran could not be the face of that. The guy lost a Met job because of that. That's not enough punishment for him. He is a Hall of Famer. And I'm sorry to say this. There's a lot of cheating that goes around in baseball. Now, they were blatant about it. Obviously, they admitted it, and they didn't get punished because they had immunity. Bottom line, it wasn't all him. It wasn't all him. Alex Cora was one of my favorite people in baseball. He was there, and he has thrived as the Red Sox manager. I'm sorry. It can't be Carlos Beltran who serves the sentence for everybody.
2,725 hits, 435 homers, 837 OPS, absolutely destroyed in the postseason, 16 homers, 42 RBI. He should be in the Hall of Fame. One person who maybe contributed to someone not being in the Hall of Fame, Greg Anderson. That was Barry Bonds' trainer. You guys did not have my back on that one, man.
I'd like to see you sink a little bit.
Some things are just, they're lost to time when the story gets told, right? It happens. All right, coming up next on Hot Stove, we're going to go from players of the past to a prospect climbing the ladder in the Yankees organization. Meredith Marakovitz talks with pitcher Will Warren after another break. Stick around.
This is my coffee shop. And that's me in my custom shirt from Custom Ink. This week, we moved into a new, bigger space and brought on another employee. To celebrate, I ordered new branded gear for the whole team. Everything was so easy to make with Custom Ink's Design Lab. I just chose my products, added our logo, and placed my order. Our new gear really helps us look and feel like a team. Bring your own team together with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa. She's pretty good. She's like my grandma. She says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" She plays with me. She helps you feel better. Bugs and insects are healthy for you. Amelia took us to the beach. She teaches me some gymnastics. We like color. We draw flowers, and then we go skateboarding.
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
The next Powerball drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
Thanks for coming back with us on Yankees Hot Stove. Last season, a few of the Yanks' highly touted prospects reached the majors for the first time, achieving a dream that pitcher Will Warren hopes to experience soon. A 2022 Kevin Lawn Award winner is the Yankees' minor league pitcher of the year. Warren followed up with a nice season last year, during which he was promoted from AA to AAA. Major League Baseball Pipeline ranks the 24-year-old as the Yanks' #8 prospect, and Meredith Marakovich recently caught up with him.
Thanks, Bob. The new year is upon us, so Will, that means baseball is right around the corner. How's this offseason been treating you?
It's going good. It's going good. Just trying to, ease back into stuff. Actually just got to Tampa, so looking to work out with some of the guys around here and look forward to getting going and starting spring training soon.
Has there been one thing in particular that you've been focused on this offseason?
Not really in particular, just kind of get back to where I finished the season last year. I felt like I ended on a high note, so trying to use that momentum going into the new year.
Hey, let's talk about the finish of the season. Look, you were solid all year long, but in September, a sub-1 ERA. What do you think really clicked for you in September?
I think it was the comfortability. Graham Johnson was our pitching coach in AAA, and we had talked through some stuff, finding lines, trusting within yourself, stuff like that. And, there's going to be an adjustment at every level. And I think finally I hit that adjustment period. I got confident within myself, and going out there and pitching with confidence is always, better than pitching scared. I think that's why I had a lot of success was I really trusted myself more than going out there and just blindly throwing. So
where does the confidence come from?
Trusting your strengths rather than, hey, this guy's weakness is this, and this, and that might not be my strength. And so going out there and just knowing that my stuff is better than the guy in the box, whether it is or not. If I believe that, usually at the end of the day, it's going to be a more successful outing.
What do you think has been the toughest adjustment for you overall as you've kind of navigated yourself through the AA, AAA part of the system?
I think a lot of the prep work comes into play. I know most guys in college and high school don't really, usually the talent level gets you there. And I think it's the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, such as like scouting report, preparing like for what the lineup you're about to face is for me as a starter. And so looking into that and then having a game plan going into the game, I think that's been the biggest adjustment because I never really had to do that before. And I think that's helped me, in the first couple of years that I've been. the Yankees.
Most Yankee fans know exactly who you are. They are excited to see you eventually in the Bronx, fingers crossed. But if somebody doesn't know Will Warren, give me the scouting report on yourself.
Sinker, slider, gonna throw a mix of changeups, four seams, cutters, but mainly sinker, slider, and gonna get a bunch of ground balls.
Now, you mentioned that slider. You've kind of monkeyed around with that a little bit. Preston Claiborne in Hudson Valley, he one time pitched in the Bronx, wore pinstripes. How long did it take you to kind of find the right grip on that slider?
It probably took me a week or two. I'd had the grip, just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. And I can remember I threw it. I've told this story before, but I threw it and I turned around with my eyes as big as they could possibly be. And I was like, is that what it's supposed to do? And he's like, that's what you're going to throw right there. You just keep doing that and you'll throw that. So that's what it's turned into.
What's that feeling like when it finally clicks and you see the break that you want to get?
It was more jaw dropping because I was like, oh, I didn't know I could throw something that moves like that. But yeah, no, it's real nice going out there, and when you have days where you feel it and you know where it's going, it's really fun.
What are your goals for 2024?
I want to be in the Bronx, so I'm trying my best to put myself in a good position, force their hand. So I'm going out there, doing everything I do, and like I said, I'm trying to finish the season or start the season like I finished last year. So I think if I do that, it puts me in a good spot. So I guess that's my goal.
Now, you come from a relatively small town. What do you think it's going to be like when you get to the Bronx and you're pitching at Yankee Stadium?
So I've never been to Yankee Stadium. And
have you ever been to New York City?
Yes, I've been to New York City.
Okay.
So I know what the big city looks like, but obviously, playing in Yankee Stadium, it's one of the, best things to do ever. I mean, it's the New York Yankees. So I've told some of my friends, first time I go to Yankee Stadium, I kind of want it to be when I'm playing for the Yankees. Hopefully that works out. But yeah, it's definitely going to be different than pitching in Brandon, Mississippi. So looking forward to it.
Let's have a little fun, Will. I know you are very good friends with Clayton Beater. You were just at his wedding. Did you hit the dance floor?
I did hit the dance floor. Sadly, I don't know if people enjoyed watching that, but I hit the dance floor for sure.
Better dancer, you or Clayton?
Well, me for sure. It's not even close. Well, he might beat me in the line dance because they do all that in Texas, and I don't really know what any of the two-stepping and stuff like that is. But I went to school in Louisiana, so I can dance a little bit, I guess.
You can get by a little bit. Now, big moment for Clayton and his wife. You also had a major milestone this offseason. You got engaged to Darby.
Yep.
What's more nerve-wracking, being on the mound or dropping down to one knee?
No, dropping down on one knee for sure. For sure.
Take me through it. You guys must be so excited.
Okay, so we were in New Orleans, terrible weather, and I was doing it outside, so I'm nervous about that. And we moved it inside, and which my sister told me that most of the time the girls are a little they don't think it's happening, so that they're a little standoffish. So I was trying to get her to go outside so that I could propose, and she's like, no, we have to save seats. And I'm like, so then I'm nervous about that. Finally got down on one knee, and definitely more nerve-wracking than getting out there and throwing on the baseball field.
But she said yes. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure I'll see you over at the complex soon. Thanks for joining us, and we will send it back to Bob Lorenz.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Meredith and Will, thank you. Will, congratulations to you and Darby, and perhaps one day he will have Anthony Rizzo playing behind him. Rizzo could be a crucial part of the Yankees lineup this coming season, and we will discuss the first baseman after another quick timeout on Hot Stove.
Guys, let's be honest. Buying pants sucks. It should not be this difficult. I'm looking for that one pair of pants that does everything. These just came in. They're the only pant from Fabletics Men. 4-way stretch, done. All-way stretch, you're going to feel the difference. The best thing about the Only Pant, honestly, everything. you almost forget about the deal that you're getting. Same premium quality as Lululemon, but at a third of the price.
You done yet? It's 2 a.m. Why are you still scrolling through videos? You're not paying me overtime here. If you really want to see something new, why not change those shades that have been broken for the past 2 years? Let's tap the Thumbtack app, and in a matter of seconds, we'll find a pro to install new shades.
Okay.
With Thumbtack, you can easily find top-rated professionals for every home project.
Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
See everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
Last year, Anthony Rizzo was thrown off course when he collided with Fernando Tatis Jr. in a game against the Padres and then struggled until he was placed on the injured list with post-concussion syndrome. But prior to that, he was one of the top hitters in the American League over the season's first 2 months, and he will look to recapture that form when the 2024 campaign begins. So limited to 99 games last year. And as we look at some players on the Yankees, guys, again, I think of the starting rotation. We talked about Rodon and Cortez, a little bit of wild card. How will they bounce back? Do you have any questions about Rizzo bouncing back?
Well, I think you had a great word when you threw the break. It's crucial. He has to come back. He has to come back to the level that he was, that 32 home run hitter. That's what he's topped out at, I think, 5 times. I don't have a question because I would think that he has gotten the right help and that he will be through the concussion syndrome. And the bottom line is before, as you mentioned, before he got hurt, he was dealing. He was having a great, great year. So I think the Yankees need that to balance their lineup for defense as well. He is such a big part of what they want to do.
Every player that is coming back from an injury, there is some level of uncertainty. This isn't a strained hamstring or a sore shoulder or a broken ankle. It's a concussion. So it's a different animal, but I agree with Michael. I think that toward the end of the season when Rizzo did interviews, he was feeling optimistic about his future and about coming back. And if he can be that player he was for a third of the season, which 53 games is, if he can carry that out through 24, that's what the Yankees need. They missed Rizzo desperately last year, but he's got some company in that left-handed batter's box this year because Soto's going to be there, Verdugo is going to be there, and Aaron Boone, who had to do a lot of mixing and matching with his lineup in terms of spreading out those lefties last year. We're going to see a lot more of left, right, left, right, left, right because he has the ability to do that.
And Michael, you brought this up too when you call games, especially with Paul, who was a left-handed hitter. It's a different at-bat when Rizzo's in that box for an opposing pitcher. He's right on top of the plate. He's cutting off parts of the plate. It's a different challenge for a starting pitcher against the Yankees.
And really, he's going to be batting behind probably Stanton, and that's going to provide some protection to Stanton. You need that balance in your lineup, and David Cohn always tells me, yeah, right-handed batters could go over the short porch in Yankee Stadium. That's not a problem, but you can't allow a pitcher to face all right-handed batters because they can get into a groove that way. They have to look in different sides of the plate when you have a lefty coming up, and this guy's a professional hitter. He works the count. He will take a hit by pitch as well, and if he doesn't return to what they want him, it changes everything. All of a sudden, DJ LeMahieu is not your third baseman. He's your first baseman. Then you got to find a third baseman. So it's gigantic that this guy comes back what he's supposed to be.
34 years old, but he's in great shape. We haven't even talked about who he is defensively. I do think the Yankees look at him as being close to a certainty. He's just got to go out there and do it. And our last show was on December 21st, Bob. Do you remember what one of my wishes was for 2024?
I didn't save the tape and
it was to talk to Rizzo about what you just asked Michael about his at-bats and getting tight into the box and moving as close as he can to the plate, and the whole idea of being fearless up there, because he's fearless.
I did remember exactly what he said, and I kept watching it during the holidays when things got slow. Hot cocoa and that.
It was Elf, That's a Wonderful Life, and My Wish List, right?
Yeah, it was
there's a lot of hot stoves left, so if you want to have that conversation with him, we could air that.
I want to do it in spring training or during the season. I don't really want to do it via Zoom.
So now you're going to actually choose when you talk to him.
The best time to do that is to have him stand in a batter's box and show you exactly what he does. Because
just find out where he's at and take your private jet there. Michael says you have that.
Only if they still have the suite in my contract that Michael was talking about.
All right, we got to take one more break, but stay with us. We've still got more to come before we wrap up our first edition of 2024 of Yankees Hot Stove. Final thoughts on the way.
The next Powerball drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
Guys, let's be honest. Buying pants sucks. It should not be this difficult. I'm looking for that one pair of pants that does everything. These just came in. They're the only pant from Fabletics Men. 4-way stretch, done. All-way stretch, you're going to feel the difference. The best thing about the only pant, honestly, everything. You almost forget about the deal that you're getting. Same premium quality as Lululemon, but at a third of the price.
Local hero, national champ. Now he's home and expected to save the franchise and continue to go forward with hope as the plan.
What's up, guys? I wish this was in person so I could buy each and one of you a beer or something. Let's play the game. Hey guys, am I dreaming or can we actually win this thing?
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
He will report to spring training next month, but during the holidays, Juan Soto was back in the neighborhood where he grew up in the Dominican Republic. The superstar gave out gifts to residents of his hometown, the latest of many ways throughout his career that Soto has made an impact on those who have supported him throughout the years on a journey that has now taken him to the Bronx. So some great work done there by Juan Soto. We'll talk about him in just a second, but the Yankees also made some other news on Thursday. They used a waiver claim on outfielder Bubba Thompson, a former first-round draft pick who played in 37 games early last season for the eventual world champion Rangers. And as Michael noted at the top of the show, the Yanks are reportedly signing pitcher Cody Petit, who missed all of 2023 due to Tommy John surgery. But just back to Soto, and again, figuring it out at a young age, not only how to give back, but how to consistently put the work in to be a great player.
I love to see it. I really do. And I think the Yankee fans are going to love this guy. I think that Aaron Boone's going to love this guy in the middle of his lineup, whether he bats him second or third. This guy is an absolute stud. And, you know, I laugh at people. I'm getting a lot of it on the radio show, and you see it on social media. Well, Yankees haven't done anything. They haven't signed any free agents. They got Juan Soto. He's got him. People would be celebrating. They got him in a trade. The Yankees aren't done. Anybody who's ripping their team for not having done anything on January 4th, you really don't know the way it works. It's a real slow free agent market this year. People are going to be signed.
Yeah, there are a lot of players still out there. Jeff Passan of ESPN did a pretty thorough and exhaustive article just talking about the tepid nature of what we've seen in these negotiations this offseason. And I agree with Michael. I think the Yankees came into the offseason with a couple of missions. Getting Soto was definitely one of them. Yamamoto was another, and that one didn't work out. But think of all the work that went into both of those. They were talking to the Padres last July about trying to acquire Soto. They were following Yamamoto all season long. So now when you're trying to pivot to figure out what your next move is, all the time you invested in those transactions or potential transactions, you're now investing your time in seeing what's the next best move.
And you have to watch with the pivot, because the Yankees put all of their eggs in the Ohtani basket. They didn't get him, and then the quick pivot was to Stanton. And so far, although he's been pretty good in the postseason, actually very good, it has not worked out. So you want to make sure your pivot is a smart pivot.
Jack, you think probably in the next week to 2 weeks we'll see a bit of a deadlock with some of these bigger name free agents finding teams. Is that fair to say?
I think it's inevitable. I think we have to see some shake loose. You talked before about how the Japanese pitcher, how he has a deadline. We have to hear something by January 11th about where he's going to end up. And I do think if you see one of the other big free agent pitchers shake free, whether it's Snell or Montgomery, the dominoes will start to fall.
There's no owner right now, by the way, itching to go spend $200 million on Blake Snell. It's a waiting game. You've got to kind of play the game with the agent, and we've seen this sort of drag out further and further as the seasons have gone on.
It's amazing. In football, they all get signed within one hour, and in the NBA, the same thing. But the agents don't want that, because the longer you wait and you can keep your guy on the free agent market, the more desperate teams become.
And Scott Boras is the expert at that, and the four of the top free agents are Boras clients.
It should be known, James Smythe 621 on Twitter. He works for us, obviously. Next Wednesday, we're going to see on Thursday the halfway point, closer to first pitch of the 2024 season than the last pitch of the World Series. It's the baseball equinox. Smythster keeping us informed. See you here.
The next Powerball drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
This is the guy. Wait, this is the guy? You're thinking of getting your suit from this guy? For your wedding? Are you sure? We can do better. The Black Tux is here to help. Rent or buy, online or in a showroom, on your terms. Shipped to you wherever you are, guaranteed to fit. Because you deserve better. The Black Tux. Formal wear for your moment.
Guys with bad jeans, are they worth it?
Jeans go with everything.
They go with nothing. Dudes, get the new Only Pant by Fabletics.
Awesome.
Want one pair of pants that does everything like magic? Breathable cooling tech. Always stretch. Secure phone pocket.
Bro, I'm in an Only Pant ad.
Water repellent. Work, golf, date night, hiking, biking. It's so everything.
See this stretch?
You forget about the deal you're getting.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get the Only Pant for $19 at Fabletics.com.
Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stock, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
Happy New Year and welcome to Unbeatable, your British Basketball League highlight show. I'm Tahir Hadja, and each week we bring you the very best of the action from across the league. New year, same unbeatable basketball. Well, we start this week's action up in Scotland, where it's the battle of the top two in the league. The Caledonian Gladiators bagged a huge victory last time they played against the London Lions. Can they repeat their performance when the Lions come to the Gladiators Coliseum? Calling this matchup, it's Todd Harris and Ant Rowe.
London and Caledonian.
When the heart of the warrior meets the heart of the beast.
What a shot!
And Jordan Taylor.
Wait a minute. Get ready. What a rejection. Get out of here. The boss. Gladiators
just making things happen on both ends of the floor.
Expect heart in the mouth moments.
Oh my goodness! Jordan Taylor, Mr. Kryptonite! Are you kidding me? Nice butt trick. Oh, baby! Get down out of here! What is going on?
Who will have the heart to win?
As you see, a blow by the almost just flies his way through the rim.
Taylor on the dribble. Inside Olasheni. Beautiful passing. Intercepted. Gladiators coming out. Alley-oop there and thrown down.
And that's the asset you have in Moore Jr.
Running the offense finds Connor Morgan on the wing, who gives it right back to him. The Lions now. Deep range three coming from Luke Nelson. Why not? Drives down the lane. Beautiful pass underneath to Sharma. Up and under. And big Josh Sharma lays it in. Back to a 6-point game as Caledonia out in front with the Lions playing with reserves that come off the bench. Deep range three there. Buried by Trent Buttrick. Taylor. That's his corner. Feeds Olasheni. Beautiful pass. Ian Dubose now. No-look pass. Feeds inside. And the bucket counted.
You've seen the big man get rewarded for running the floor. This time, Clifton Moore benefits.
Quealy silences the crowd with a huge three-pointer. Kareem Quealy tried a sky hook there. Couldn't get it to fall. Ian Dubose gets it off the glass.
Oh, Clifton Moore Jr., tough move there.
Caledonia's got an interesting lineup out there with Michael Bothwell on the court. That's just a sky rainbow jumper on the drive. Beautifully cut inside. Fraser Malcolm. Sold out crowd tonight at Play Sport Arena in East Kilbride, Scotland. A wild shot there, and they're going to count it. Whelan. Morgan steps out on him, and he's going to get an and one opportunity. Under 3 minutes to play. Oh, beautiful entry pass. Finding Kieran Sandy in there while everyone was focusing on Connor Morgan. East Kilbride are going to have a disappointing drive home as the final seconds tick away. And that'll do it. So the London Lions come to town and get a victory, down by 14 in the first half. They battle back, and the final score 87-79, a hard-fought battle for that entire squad.
An explosive display from both teams, with the Lions taking a valuable win. We are staying up in Scotland now, where away from the court, the Gladiators recently launched their bespoke team tartan, a traditional pattern design that is embedded in the history of Scotland.
The Caledonia Gladiators, obviously Caledonia, ancient word for Scotland. We're a Scottish team. We wanted to have the national dress for Scotland.
Caledonia Gladiators. Nice dot pass, Clifton Moore. Are you kidding me? Oh, baby! It's just an unbelievable game from the Caledonia Gladiators. Gareth Murray trying to build the essence of a Scottish identity, having a Scottish coach and some very good Scottish players.
Yeah, so today it's really exciting. We've got the launch of our new Caledonia Gladiators tartan.
We got measured for this a few weeks ago, and now we got them with us. Never were here before, but cool, we're honorary Scots now.
As soon as we took over the Caledonia Gladiators, we basically had a vision to have a full relaunch and very much use the brand of Scotland as a big identity part. The design of the tartan, it's been about a year in the making, really. We had it for the trophy finals last year. What we wanted to do was we wanted to bring in the colours of the home and the away, and the white of the saltire. Actually on the tie, it actually shows the St Andrew's cross much better. And then the grey, obviously a very wearable tartan. So yeah, we sat down and we went through all the thread counts and what have you, so it was a great process.
We represent the tartan, the Caledonia Gladiators, and we're proud to wear the traditional wear.
So proud to see all the players. The women look fantastic. The guys just look so smart. I love Gareth and his shoes. The shoes just look fantastic. There's so much history in Scotland, and I think the tartan is such a big part of the symbolism of Scotland. So for me, that was such an important part of the rebranding for our Scottish basketball team.
It's time for a break now, but don't go anywhere. We have the rest of the basketball action coming right up.
Guys, let's be honest. Buying pants sucks. It should not be this difficult. I'm looking for that one pair of pants that does everything. These just came in. They're the only pant from Fabletics Men. 4-way stretch, done. All-way stretch, you're gonna feel the difference. The best thing about the only pant, honestly, everything. You almost forget about the deal that you're getting. Same premium quality as Lululemon, but at a third of the price.
You don't have to leave your living room to play the lottery. Just use the Jack Pocket app.
Hot! Okay, everyone, please silence your phones.
I won. I won! I won! I never win anything, and I won today! We won! Yes! Dollar bills, y'all, I'm out!
To win anytime, anywhere, download the Jack Pocket app, officially licensed lottery courier service.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
What do water pipes Home questions don't have to keep you up at night. Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
At care.com, you can find all the help you need. You can find babysitters, and you can find nannies. You can find dog walkers who will step in as your best friend's new best friend, and housekeepers who can get your floors looking great, at least for a little bit. You can find companions and helpers and caregivers, but most importantly, you can find out what it's like to not have to do it all on your own. Find all the care you need at care.com.
Welcome back to Unbeatable, the British Basketball League highlight show. Up next, the Leicester Riders host the Bristol Flyers, who are playing their fourth consecutive game away from home and hoping to bag a win on the road after losing their last two fixtures. Calling this one, it's Dan Routledge and Dan Clark.
Lucas looking to push. Block! Oh, huge block from Thomas, who comes away with it.
Huge block right there and snapped it out the air.
Walker on the trail, jamming it down. That one's off the back of the iron. Jacob attacking the rim. Foul is called, the basket is good, and he will go to the line for a bonus free throw. Allen hits them all up in the air and is able to finish this time.
Scrappy first quarter, Dan. Not an offensive exhibition from either team.
No, probably favors Bristol. Lowell kicks it back out to Washington for three. And that's almost guaranteed. Connor Washington at the top. Well, you can see Patrick Whelan and the Gladiators taking on London. It's Lowell. Jams it in transition. Back out to Lowell. Space for Adowu for three. And he knocks it down. That comes out to Jacob. Jacob right down the middle, forces it home. Here's Jacob, slamming it home. Round the screen, Jacob strings another three and the scores are level. Broken up by Smith, but Doe is able to recover. Spinning, getting to the rim, and in off the glass.
Smart play.
Samuels, it's stolen away by Holmes. He's off and running, and he will jam it home. Here's Johnson for three, and he rattles in the triple, and the score's a level again. McKenzie's going to take the three. Must make, does make. Kimball McKenzie, a captain shot. Dishes it off, and Lucas lays it in, and could that be it now for the Flyers? They have an 8-point lead, and the Bristol Flyers have come on the road and claimed an important win here.
Yeah, huge win for Bristol, as you said. Not been in the best run of form recently.
Let's keep the action going as we head to Cheshire. With the Phoenix player team, they've won twice already against this season. It's the Northwest Derby against the Manchester Giants. Your commentators, Josh Bett and Graham Hiscock.
Trying to extend a lead. Jack finds White in the corner. Can they go for a third three? You bet they can. This team. Well, Lewis now finding Boursier. 5:05 to go. Boursier from no man's land. Aaron Rye with Ethan Chagua. Down the lane, goes up, finishes with a beautiful finger roll. Down the middle, finds David Olf. Olf goes in around and somehow gets out one to drop. The man from Liverpool. Olf is coming in with his arms to push him. Do you think that kind of went against him as well?
Possibly.
Well, there you can see Leisure reverts it. Well, Stampley the corner, nailed the three-pointer. We're all locked in a piece at 56. Trying to isolate. Got it by William Lee. Puts up a prayer and just somehow finds the bottom of the net. Again, as you mentioned, great to see him back full of Manchester Giants and British basketball. Wide pick and pop. Big time three-pointer. And all of a sudden, 4-point ball game. Just not the right shot they need. Walsh goes in, bangs, gets the and one. Evan Mobley. Walsh. Time winding down yet again.